Rohr Stadium in Kintnersville, Pennsylvania, the site for Colonial League football. Tonight, the Palisades Pirates check in with a record of 0-3. They host the 1-2 Notre Dame Crusaders. Hi and welcome everyone. Al DeCaro alongside Doug Heater. Glad you could join us on this Friday night, week 4 of the high school football season. As we look at this matchup, obviously lots of surprises. No one's expected Palisades to be 0-3. And you look at Notre Dame, they lost TJ Jelly in the beginning of the year, Doug. And really, the difference, of the season right now is having a guy in the lineup versus out of the lineup. They need other players to step up.
They do, and I think both of these teams realize the importance of this game, even more so for Palisades tonight, facing an 0-3 start. And with the expanded playoffs this year, I think people can start looking at that now here in week 4. And if you're Palisades, obviously that's a goal you've set beginning of the season. You've got to win this game tonight. And for Notre Dame, starting off 1-2, not where Dave Brown like his team to be, but I think he's also looking at a playoff picture as well. This becomes a very important game for both sides.
Let's talk about Dave Brown a little bit. And as he comes into the season for his team, he knows 1-2. They're coming off a huge loss against Palmerton. His team really just trying to regroup.
They are, and they're trying to find some consistency. That they haven't done that. That's why you look at this team, it's 1-2. And in this Colonial League, each and every week is hard. There's no easy week, and he's facing that tonight. It's a tough task for his Notre Dame team that's trying to find that consistency, trying to find those players to step up, facing a team that's got its back against the wall in Palisades.
Brian Gilbert at 0-3 gets a couple of players back, some seniors to help out this lineup. At the same time, you mentioned playoffs still in their possibilities, but they're not thinking playoffs, they're thinking one game.
We can talk about it, but they can't. That's definitely the deal. But I know he is in the back of his mind. They realize that they can't start the season 0-4, nor would they ever want to. This is their game, and it's their first home game since the opening loss to Wilson. His team hasn't found that consistent play either. There's been a little bit of mistakes in the Wilson game, and it was tough last week against a Northwestern team. That's definitely surprising a lot of folks. But he likes his team's chances. The players you mentioned are back, and I think we're going to see a different Palisades team than we've seen over the last couple of weeks.
Gorgeous night for football here at Palisades as the Pirates get ready to take on the Notre Dame Crusaders next on 2 Sports.
Tonight's game on Service Electric 2 Sports is brought to you by Power Realty.
Since 1937, Walters Pharmacy has been making life easier for you, the name you trust most when you need your prescription filled. That's because getting your prescription right is our #1 priority, and only Walters Pharmacy delivers anywhere in Allentown for free. Our wide selection of health products and mobile equipment, as well as our convenient hours, make Walters Pharmacy the fast and convenient choice.
I went to Walters Pharmacy, and they were able to supply all of my child's needed medications.
I call Walters Pharmacy for all my prescriptions and healthcare items and have them delivered to my door.
Walters Pharmacy in Allentown. It's clear that the world of energy is more complex than ever. With heating oil prices 35 to 40% higher than last year, Apgar Oil Company can save you money by installing a high-efficiency EFM oil-fired heating system. If your oil heating system is older than 1971 or efficiency is lower than 75%, it's time to replace it now. Make the intelligent choice and enjoy the warmth and the tax-free savings that a new oil-fired heating system by Apgar Oil Company provides. Call Apgar Oil Company for your free estimate.
Hi, this is Mike Mittman. Are you looking for a vehicle like brand new, only 1, 2, 3 years old? Do what I do. Come to Eberhard Motors. Isn't that right, Eric?
That's right, Mike. We've been saying that for years. At Eberhard Motors, I handpick only the best, and there's nothing here I wouldn't put in my own driveway.
And Eric, don't forget, all the cars are Advanced Stars certified and ready to roll right off the lot.
Of course I know, Mike. I'm the owner.
Eberhard Motors, been here doing it right for over 80 years.
Since the Overhead Door Company makes the original overhead door, the people who install and service them take them pretty seriously. Call or log on for the overhead door dealer nearest you.
Welcome back to Walter T. Rohr Stadium in Kintnersville, Pennsylvania. 1-2 Notre Dame Crusaders taking on 0-3 the Pirates of Palisades. Take a look at tonight's Apgar Oil starting QBs on both sides.
And despite the fact that both of these teams are going to want to establish the run, I think it's going to be a big game for both of these starting quarterbacks. Jake Gambos, your senior starter for Notre Dame, he wears number 2, really starting to fit into this offense well. And of course, Kyle Jensen, the junior for Palisades, also doing a great job. Both coaches pleased with the effort that he has gotten from both of our starting quarterbacks this season.
Take a look at tonight's Faulkner's keys to victory, beginning with Notre Dame, Doug.
We take a look at the Crusaders, and something they haven't been able to do in their 2 losses is get off to a quick start. They must do that, especially on the road here tonight at Palisades. And for the Pirates, they need to limit those mistakes. That's what has been one of the key ingredients for their 3 losses this season. It's been timely mistakes. If they do that, they feel they can win the ball game tonight.
Keys to victory brought to you by Faulkner Cadillac Chevrolet Saab, located in the Faulkner Autoplex, just off Route 22, between Wegmans and Steak and Ale in Bethlehem. For the keys to victory and helping students making better decisions, Faulkner will be making a donation to the Lehigh Valley SAD chapter for their participation in Lehigh Valley High School football. We are underway from Palisades High School. Opening kickoff, we go down to the field. First report, Meredith Morakovitz.
After Notre Dame's 40-7 loss to Palmerton last week, I asked head coach Dave Brown where this team was at mentally. He couldn't really answer the question. He said, we've had problems with consistency. We've had problems with the start, as you guys have already alluded to. He said, tonight we really need to start off strong, try to take care of some of those mistakes. One guy you really want to look for is Tom Van Sickle. He's been a big target for this team, and look for them to really go to him early and establish the offense from the air first. As far as Palisades is concerned, they have 2 guys back that are going to be a big part of the offense. Brandon Manwaring and also Brad Patterson are back. Manwaring went out, of course, with a wrist injury in game 1. Patterson with a concussion 2 weeks ago. So those are some guys that can really turn around this Palisades team, perhaps spark them to their first win. Guys?
Well, Adam Grenziger with the first carry of the game as we begin with Palisades. 27 rushes, 151 yards, and a touchdown. First quarter of this contest brought to you by Kleckner & Sons Appliances on MacArthur Road in Whitehall. And Doug, a good start here in the first down by Grenziger. First and 10 now from the 46 of Notre Dame. Jensen with a man in motion far side of the field. He'll hand that one off. There's the flea flicker. Jensen to throw. He gets hit hard as he throws it to the middle of the field. It's Patterson. First down inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line. The flea flicker works on the second play of the game to Patterson.
Oh, nice job by Palisades to change it up on the second play, setting up the run on the first play. Patterson runs a slant in, and the free safety coming over for Notre Dame is over late. You can see a nice route by Patterson right down the middle of the field with no free safety in the middle. Van Sickle, he's late to come over because he's got to attend to the other receiver. It's a nice job, but this is going to come back because of a penalty. Something that we saw in the Wilson game, the home opener for Palisades.
6 men on a line of scrimmage, 5-yard penalty, replete first down.
You can see that one negated. That play never actually should have been off. You take a look at Tom Toth, one of the nice additions to this Palisades coaching staff here with Brian Gilbert. And it went for a nice gain, but that's some of the mistakes that Palisades has made in the past they can't afford to make here tonight.
First down and 15. The penalty after the penalty, the ball at the 49-yard line. And Doug, you know, not a surprise as, you know, as we talk about this contest, get into it. We were just delivered, I don't know what's in the bag, but Tony Curry, the athletic director for Notre Dame, has delivered a big chunk of something that we'll like, I'm sure. Food.
Something that I'll have some of, and you'll rip me for later, but you're right. We're looking forward to that.
I'll put it right by you, Doug.
Don't taunt me with it now.
We'll put it right behind you, Doug. How's that?
That sounds fine.
All right, back to action. Second down and 8. Flag again. So a couple flags here early on Palisades.
Dave, can you hear me?
Some movement.
I can do something on the...
Still second down.
Some movement there on the right side of the Palisades line. This is very similar to what happened to Palisades against Wilson, although not as soon in the ball game as we're seeing here tonight. But those penalties in the Warrior loss really took them out of their rhythm and put them in a situation like you're seeing right now, a 2nd and 13. No team wants to come to second down and have to go 13 yards. And Palisades, especially after that nice flea flicker, they don't want to do it either.
So back to action, 2nd down and 13. I hand that one off and goes to the up back. And it's Bill Saxton's first carry. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and long situation here for Palisades.
Oh, and what it does, you see there, is it takes the Pirates out of what they had game planned for these first few plays. going into a 2nd and short or a 1st and 10. It forces you to run the football. You get a couple yards here, and now it puts you in a passing situation, and it also took away that great field position that they would have started with after the 2nd play from scrimmage.
3rd down and 11 from the 47. Jensen under center, receiver split, one on either side. Now coming in motion to the near side. And Jensen rolls near side. Puts that one up, has a receiver wide open, and connects on the play to Mike Negri inside the 25 to about the 24-yard line. 1st down, Palisades.
And a nice offensive play by the Pirates, they flood the right side of the defense, or the offense is left, with 3 receivers. That motion man Patterson took the coverage underneath, and all Negri does is he goes underneath or in the middle of that Notre Dame defense. Nobody stays with him, and a good job by Jensen to roll and find the open receiver.
9:37 on the clock. Palisades inching closer inside the 25-yard line. They'll go on the ground. Gretziger pops through a hole, still on his feet, inside the 20, down to about the 18-yard line. We see some good runs, even in the Wilson game, from Adam Gretziger, who comes in, we mentioned, with 151 yards rushing.
Yeah, and this Pirate offense, they want to run first and pass second. They want to establish this ground game, and that's what they were unable to do after the penalty. Now they do it with Gretziger. They go back to what they ran on 1st down to start the ball game, and this is obviously a much better 2nd down situation. If you're down in 2nd and 4, it keeps the defense thinking. They're not quite sure what you're going to see from this Pirate offense.
2nd and 4 from the 18-yard line. They'll pitch that one back. Here's Gretziger, takes it inside the 15, cuts inside the 10, down to about the 8. Move the chains for Palisades.
And you see what it does there. It opens up many options, no pun intended. They run a fake fullback dive, and then they go option right, and it gets their running back out wide, out on the corner. It gives them a lot of room to run. You run it to that far side of the field, the longer side of the field, and it gives Palisades an opportunity to get out in the flat, make some moves in the secondary, and at the very least, pick up the 1st down, move the chains, and that's what they've done. 1st and goal inside the 10-yard line.
.8:29 o'clock, 1st and goal from the 8. Here's Jensen. Hands this one off. Near side. Makes a cut. Gretziger inside the 5. Pulled down. Touchdown. 8 yards. Adam Gretziger, and Palisades, after a couple of penalties on the drive that stalled it momentarily, are on the scoreboard. They lead 6-0.
Well, great job by the offensive line. And I've talked so much this year about contain and not losing outside contain. That's what Notre Dame does on this. But give Palisades credit. Interior of the line, taking away any penetration on that. They're able to bounce that outside, and it's a great way to start your football game, especially here at home in front of this big crowd.
Point after here by Luke Weiss. Snap, the kick. That one is up through the uprights. Good. 7-0. Palisades with 8:15 on the clock.
Palisades bring some heat on this run. They get into the backfield right off the initial blast, but they're unable to finish off. We'll take a look coming right over the center. That's Bill Courrier, the nose guard. Now he'll pursue. Here's a contain I'm talking about. See the linebackers and ends. 85, the big defensive end, Dan Kaiser goes inside, or Don Kaiser, and it's allowing Gretziger to get to the outside corner. If you're going to take that inside angle, you got better hope you got help outside, and he didn't get it. I mean, it's a dive play, but then Gretziger just bounces it outside, able to beat number 9, Tom Van Sickle, the free safety, to the corner of the end zone.
Well, one thing Dave Brown told us before the game, Doug, and I think we mentioned it already, is his team doesn't want to get down early. He said in the blink of an eye against Palmerton, they were down 14-0. And that's just how it's been. They had to win against Southern Lehigh. It's something that he doesn't want to get down. And now it puts his team in a position where, despite it being the first quarter, despite it being early in the contest, he wants his team with 8:15 on the clock to try to produce some points here early on.
Well, he fell behind 14-0 first quarter, 20-0 at the half, and then 27-0 before they finally got on the board a week ago. So not the way this team wants to start. Very picture perfect, or very reminiscent of what happened last week.
Weiss to kick off, and it's picked up by Van Sickle. Van Sickle has some running room inside the 50 down to the 48-yard line. You look at number 9, Tom Van Sickle. Meredith had talked about him before. Leads the team in reception with 14, and they're a good run back.
Right, and he's a guy that they want to utilize on offense, and Dave Brown said it. We hope our special teams can be a big contributor as well. This is a breakdown in coverage for the Pirates. Everybody kind of gets caught in the middle, and then that wall set up, and Van Sickle just outruns the coverage. They overran the football, and Saxton was fortunate to be there to stop Van Sickle from taking it to the house.
First down and 10, 8:08 on the clock from the 48. Motion man near side, they go right up the gut and get a couple on the first carry of the game by the Crusaders. And the first carry is Darryl Klotz. Klotz checking in, 11 rushes for 66 yards and a touchdown.
Well, we've talked a lot during the season about T.J. Daly not being in the lineup, and they're not sure if they're going to get him back this year, but it's given Darryl Klotz, a sophomore, an opportunity now to play this year, and especially tonight. He will be key this evening. This is a wing T offense with a little bit more passing than normal, but you still got to establish the fullback up the middle, and that's what Notre Dame does on the first play.
Well, they hand this one off to Hughes, comes near side. There's the flag as he gets dragged down. And finally, a little pushing and shoving afterwards, and we'll wait on the flag.
This will probably go against Notre Dame inside, probably a hold on that speed sweep. Another player to keep their eye on is going to be Manny Stewart, number 10. There's the hold on Notre Dame by Jim Haney. Manny Stewart over from Pius. Not sure how long or how well he'll be able to play today because of some health issues this week, but they're glad to see him in the starting lineup. He's a main player in that backfield. When I talk about this not being your standard wing T, you'll see Notre Dame throw a little bit more than a Parkland would or Northern Lehigh with Jim Tagg.
During the run, holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, second down.
Jim Haney, our referee tonight. Rob Kintner is the umpire. The head linesman is James Litz. Mike Cuck is the back judge, and John Mitchell is the line judge tonight, this Colonial League matchup. But what you're going to see from Notre Dame is they're still going to try to establish inside runs and then go outside with a pass, a sprint out pass, or in that case, that speed sweep.
Approaching his 7-minute mark of quarter number 1, second down and 18 from the 45. Gombos to throw. Here comes the pressure, still rolling. Gets a block in front off the back foot, looks downfield, and it's picked off. Intercepted at the 24-yard line by Palisades, and it's Patterson.
Well, Patterson, that's his first interception of the season, and if I'm not mistaken, the first interception for this Pirate team all season. Great job downfield. Gombo is a player, that senior, trying to make a big play, gets flushed out, and stretches it down the field. You're going to see a nice crackback block coming right here in the corner of your screen. Nice job there by Klotz, the fullback, taking the pressure away. And Gombos, when he takes a look at this, is going to realize that he forced it a little bit, but a great defensive play by Patterson, staying in good position defensively.
First and 10 from the 25. 6:59 on the clock. They'll pitch it back. Gretziger. That's Groover, actually, his first carry of the night. Groover came in with 10 rushes, 69 yards, and a touchdown.
Much better job that time by Notre Dame on contain, taken away. They run a trap and a little pitch, and Notre Dame's going to go outside down the line of scrimmage, turn the play back in. Not a bad gain on first down of 4 yards, but if you're Notre Dame, you don't want to get burned outside for 10 or 15. They do a nice job defensively on that first down run.
We'll go to Gretziger, who battles through up towards the 35-yard line.
And there's Klotz again, who's now playing linebacker too on defense. His sophomore getting good playing time here tonight. But there is the outside-inside game. You go outside on a sweep, and then you come back inside with your tailback with Saxton leading and Grenzinger right up the middle. That's your nose guard, Courrier, making the stop in the secondary about 8 yards deep.
First and 10 from the 36. They'll pitch it back, and they give it to Saxton. Saxton, far side flag on the play, and we'll wait for the next flag.
Well, this will come back on Palisades. Either a block in the back or a hold on that sweep. And there's a penalty by Jim Haney. Both of these teams committing a couple of penalties on their first and now second drive for the Pirates. Not what the coaching staff wants to see.
During the run, holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, first down. Let's go.
Yeah, you're going to see this on Grant Broach go on a sweep. He's outside. He's got that kick-out block, and it's going to come right there. He got that backhand up on, looked like Tom Van Sickle, who came up to contain. And when that arm comes up around the jersey and pulls, and then you're hooking your guy down, it's very obvious, and it was an easy call for the officials to make.
1st and 18 from the 28. And making his way through is Jensen. Jensen all the way up to the 41-yard line.
Well, Klotz again from behind, but a nice decision by Kyle Jensen outside. Palisades is going to have their hands full tonight with Don Kaiser. Watch 85, the big defensive end, come in. Then he goes down the line. There's Jensen. Nice cut. And he'll switch the ball outside, take it toward the sideline, and Klotz is going to run him down from behind. But that's not a bad gain. That's actually a great gain on that 1st down and long. Good decision by Jensen to play off his block, cut it back upfield for a nice pickup.
2nd down and 5 from the 42. 5 minutes, 1st quarter, 7-0 your score. Palisades on top. They hand this one off, and just going down immediately was Gruber.
Well, it's a Pirates version of a speed sweep, but not coming from a wing T formation. They're going to run their wing back straight down the line of scrimmage, and it looked like 2 offensive linemen for the Pirates kind of got tangled up on that trap play, fell down, and it forced the ball carrier Gruber to lose a couple of yards.
So with the 2-yard loss, will make it 3rd down and 7 now from the 39. Only touchdown of the game, an 8-yard touchdown run by Adam Gretziger. It came with 8:15 on the clock, now 4:15 on the clock. After the turnover by Notre Dame, 3rd down and 7. Pressure on Jensen, just floats one out. No one looking for that one, incomplete. And then they get a legal man downfield.
That's what they're going to get, because that one was closer to Broach. He was doing his job, but no receiver turned to get the football. And it will be ineligible downfield. Notre Dame shows 6 guys on the line of scrimmage on that 3rd down, and then drops 2 back, the ends back in pass coverage.
Ineligible. Lineman downfield during the pass. Declined. 4th down.
So Notre Dame does a good job of getting out of it. 4th down and 7 from the 39. So Van Sickle, one of the players back there to receive. On the punt here is Chris McKinley. McKinley gets one off. Van Sickle will let it bounce, and then we'll field it. Picks it up, and I didn't see any flag. And Van Sickle will finally go down, and then we go down to the field. And Meredith Marakovitz.
Guys, the penalties have to be particularly frustrating for Brian Gilbert and his team, because he told me before the game they made a point to practice that. They had the other coaches actually standing on the sidelines, making everything like a game situation. They were playing officials, said they were calling everything, even if it was close. So he really thought they had turned a corner as far as the penalties and as far as the simple mistakes. We'll see now how defensively they make up from that last series, guys.
1st and 10 now from the 29, inside 4 to play. And we're just talking penalties. There's another flag.
Palisades is going to have too many guys on the field. It looked like Grant Broach tried to get off in time. I think they're going to pick this one up.
There's no foul on the play. The ready for play whistle had not blown.
Yeah, Broach got off. He tried to hustle off. I tell you, the Rock's right, though. Neither one of these guys can be real happy with this. This is week 4, and some of these, I mean, the false start early, but the holding penalties have hurt both of these teams, no doubt about it.
So 1st and 10 from the 29. And Notre Dame will start on the ground. It's Klotz.
Just a 3rd offensive play for Notre Dame in this ball game. They come out of it, same formation, and they bring Mike Hughes, who ran the one speed sweep. They fake him and run Klotz back up the middle. Notre Dame's got to establish that fullback inside to open up outside. And they want to be able to do that because they want to use their speed outside, whether it's Mike Hughes on that speed sweep, or if it's getting Gumbos outside on a sprint out and getting the ball out to his wide receiver Van Sickle, who we've seen early is going to be a threat here tonight.
2nd down and 6 from the 33. Gumbos under center. He's going to throw. Looks near side, Van Sickle. That one just overthrown. And just like that, Doug, 3rd down.
That second down pass play, and Gombo is not pleased with himself on that one. He didn't get a real good lane to throw that football out in a flat to Van Sickle, and it can be a dangerous pass if not thrown accurate, so he throws it a little bit high, and it goes incomplete. Palisades, though, early in this game has done a pretty good job of getting some pressure on the quarterback, in this case Gombo's. That time they didn't get the hit, they didn't get the rush, but they're still in his mind getting some pressure from their front four.
3rd down and 6 from the 33. Gombo's to throw. Here comes the pressure. Middle of the field off Van Sickle, and they'll have to punt this one away.
And once again, pressure coming from the backside. Eli Luke is going to get some heat from the backside. You can see 78 come up right here. Goes down low to get him, and it's just a little bit too high for Van Sickle across the middle. There is your safety, Kyle Jensen, waiting to make the tackle. So even if Van Sickle was able to make that catch, he probably wouldn't have gotten enough yards for the first down.
Lundy, Van Sickle, excuse me, to punt with a flag on the play.
The Palisades only got 10 guys.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Still only got 10 guys in the field, so they got lucky here. They're going to count for the 3rd time here. They got 10. There's 10. I counted 3 times. I'm not wrong. So they still only have 10, but at least Notre Dame got caught for the false start.
So Palisades with 10 players on the field for the last 30 seconds. They want to play a guy short. 4th down and 11. Van Sickle to punt. That one almost gets blocked. Van Sickle, that one goes straight up. Now let's see which way it rolls. It rolls in favor of Notre Dame all the way down to about the 43-yard line.
Van Sickle got a nice roll on that one. And I tell you, they're bringing a lot of heat. That was Luke again, Eli Luke, that brought the pressure. Took a great angle on it as well. You don't want to come straight and watch Luke Simmons going to come across, and he's not going to get a piece of it, but he's not going to come straight at the punter, so that way if he doesn't get it, he isn't going to make contact. That's a better angle to take coming across the punter's body, so if you do miss, you don't go into the punter.
Doug, at the same time, it looked like if he went after him, he may have gotten that one.
He did hold up a little bit, but again, you know, you got to be cautious. Right. You definitely don't want to give them a second chance.
2:54 on the clock, 7-0 Palisades, 1st and 10 from the 44. Jensen to throw, airs this one up, looking Patterson's way, and Patterson inside the 15-yard line. Another catch by Bradley Patterson, his 8th of this year.
Nothing fancy about this route at all. Patterson runs a streak right down the sideline. Play action holds the corner Hughes for a moment. Patterson's already got him beat. Great throw by Jensen to get it to him. There's the play action holds the corner. Jensen on a straight streak down the field, down the corner. Nice ball by Jensen. That's something that you've seen now over 4 games, how Kyle Jensen has gotten much better. We saw it in the first game against Wilson, but he's gotten real good at delivering that deep ball, whether it's to Patterson, whether it's to Manwaring, or in this case, it goes to Jensen.
Go the handoff, and Saxton.
One of the things that Brian Gilbert talked about is having a Patterson, having a Manwaring back 100%, and Jensen really settling into this offense. He now knows he's got some great receivers in the corners, guys that we saw in week number 1. And, of course, Groover out of the backfield, along with Vernilson and Saxon, guys that can catch the ball, and Grensinger. It really gives you a lot of offensive weapons, something that Notre Dame was concerned coming in. If their secondary, some of the younger guys back there, as well as the linebacking core, can stay with this group.
2nd and 7, ball at the 12. Pitches one back, Grensinger, they go the other way. And to the middle of the field. And it looks like he gave it back to Saxton.
And a nice job by Joey DeFulvio, the defensive end 23, to stay at home. This is, in a sense, this is a mini reverse because it doesn't, you don't get your guy out too far. But DeFulvio there, 23, stays at home. He's a defensive end and forces Saxon to turn that play back inside. Therefore, it goes for a minimal gain as opposed to getting the corner and possibly taking it to the end zone.
A big play here defensively for Notre Dame. 3rd down and 4, the ball at the 9. They can get a first down at about the 5. Jensen pitches that one back at the last second, inside the 5. Touchdown, John Gruber. 13-0 Palisades.
This is the same play that the Pirates ran. We got a penalty flag down up to see it. Now, this could go against the Pirates because they did get a kick-out block on the outside, and it looks that's what the case is there. It's holding again. What a Rock talked about it. This is really going to upset Brian Gilbert because of the touchdown now called back. What I was getting at, this is the same play they ran the touchdown for, but to the opposite side of the field.
During the run.
Take a look.
Holding. on the
Jensen's
offense.
going to pitch.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the
Get
foul.
a little chip block on Kaiser.
Replay third down.
And it looks like there's where it is. It's going to be real obvious. It's going to go against Vernilson, who's that extra back in the backfield in the wishbone. It's tough. Once that arm, now, in a sense, he didn't mean to do it. He just got, he went out to block him. The defender got up, and his arm goes out and wraps around him. But again, it's an easy call for the referee to make. When you see that arm wrapped around the front of somebody's body, it looks like he's tackled him. So it's been very frustrating here in this first quarter.
5th penalty of the night on Palisades, as he's been hurting them each and every time. Here now 3rd and 12 from the 17. Jensen gets hits as he throws, incomplete. And now we'll wait a decision here by Coach Gilbert.
You really got to like the way Darryl Klotz has played here tonight, 32, a sophomore coming in. We didn't expect to see him this much on the defensive side. He comes in on a blitz, and his presence there, bang, gets the hit on Jensen, forces him to throw the ball sooner than he would have liked to. And definitely, he wanted to get it to Patterson, didn't have the opportunity to set the feet and deliver it outside. So Klotz has played a great game, especially here on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, Palisades will call a timeout here with 58.8 seconds left. 7-0 your score. 4th down and 12 from the 17. AB doors and windows timeout, and Doug, an opportunity for them to think about it. Do they, try to notch up a field goal here from 31 yards out or from 34 yards out? Do they go for it? Again, you can get a first down at about the 5-yard line.
Well, one of the things that they need to talk about here is they want to make sure they're on the same page and they get the right play in and they execute it. And they realize that now how bad that penalty was. It took away a touchdown, but it also put them in a 3rd and long. It didn't happen on 1st down. So they're going to make sure they get the right personnel. Luke Weissman, the place kicker, he's been pretty solid here tonight or this season for Palisades. I think if you're the Pirates, you want to make sure you execute, going to go for it here on 4th down. And if at anything you don't get it, you're going to force Notre Dame to get down the field. I'll tell you what, I'm sure there's some mentions in that huddle now from Brian Gilbert about the mistakes his team has made early on. This is something that they've been able to, they have been doing most of the season, and they wanted to eliminate tonight. And that could be, if there's one big key on why this team hasn't won, that's going to be it.
Well, Doug, you look at right now, when we talked to Coach Brown, he said, we got down early against Palmerton, and, they were an opportunity to get down in the flea flicker right away. And then the penalty brought him back, and then all of a sudden, the touchdown called back because of holding. 4th and 12, they will go for it. Jensen rolls near side, has time, throws, and completes. We'll get the first down, and again, his favorite target, Bradley Patterson. First down and goal for Palisades. And we go to the field in Meredith.
Guys, you were talking about Jensen before. Brian Gilbert said in the first game of the season that he wanted Jensen to just come in, get used to the offense. He wasn't necessarily looking for him to throw a lot or not necessarily looking for him to particularly lead this team. But talking to him before this game, his mindset and his attitude has changed in regard to Jensen. He said he's a true leader out there. He has complete confidence that he can get it done. And you saw that them going for it on 4th and Jensen being able to convert, guys.
First and goal from the 3. They go on the ground, and no signal yet. Touchdown, Palisades on the carry by Bill Saxton. A 3-yard touchdown score by Saxton.
Palisades comes out in what is definitely going to be their goal line offense, that wishbone look with Vernilson as the lead blocker. The difference here than the other 2 touchdowns, with one of them being called back, is they decided to go off the right side of the offensive line behind guys like Broach and test that side. Inside, tough running with Vernilson leading, kicking out, and Saxton's able to get it in the end zone for the touchdown.
Point after coming up. Snap, the kick is up, and that sneaks through. So 14-0 Palisades.
So here's what LaRock was talking about, and she's absolutely right. Jensen is now a leader on this offense. Nice ball to Patterson and a great route run by Bradley Patterson to get underneath the coverage. And there you're going to see nice kick out by Vernilson. He's got to feel good about that. He had committed that penalty, and they go off the right side behind the big beef there, Kakura and Broach, get it in for a touchdown. Good job. This has been a very productive first quarter.
That's a productive seat right there. You and I were venturing over there a year ago.
The Pirate ship is loaded tonight.
Yeah, loaded. Youth night here at Palisades. True, yeah. Rebecca George does a great job here at Palisades, along with everybody else. They're throwing some footballs up here. Youth night. They're enjoying the big pirate ship over there. Me, I'm scared of the Pirates. Pirates. It's almost Halloween. Halloween's right around the corner.
Well, I don't know, right around the corner. It's a month away.
Yeah, a month away. A month away. Time flies when you're having fun.
That's
Doug.
True.
29 ticks on the clock. 14-0 your score. And Notre Dame trying to get the offense going, and it'll be picked up there by Van Sickle. Van Sickle gets a block in front and pushes up to about the 27-yard line. So it started at 27 with 23 seconds on the clock.
This is becoming now a very big drive for Notre Dame right here before the end of the first quarter to get something going, get a rhythm going, especially now having fallen behind 14-0. As many penalties as the Pirates have committed, they've still managed to build a 2-touchdown lead.
First and 10 from the 27. In motion far side is Manny Stewart. He takes the pitch, tries to find something, but he finds absolutely nothing. Except the Palisades jersey coming his way. And that's taken out by Mike Negri.
Negri does a good job of forcing Stewart outside and actually fights off the block by Colin Freitas, and it makes a stop one-on-one out in the open field.
Well, quarter number one winding down. That will do it. 2 touchdowns, an 8-yard run by Adam Grenziger and a 3-yard touchdown run by Bill Saxton. 14-0 after 1 quarter of play. We'll be back on 2 Sports.
High school football on Service Electric 2 Sports is brought to you by Apcar Oil, Yucco's, Power Realty, Troxel Agency, Harvey Z. Rad Realtors, Dan Cressman Insurance, and Family Prescription Center.
The key to becoming a better athlete is through sports performance training. To perform like a pro, you need to train like a pro. Now your chance has finally arrived with Velocity Sports Performance. Train individually or as part of a group with our nationally credentialed sports performance coaching staff. Build confidence, structure, and accountability through athleticism with purpose. Get the competitive edge you want. Operate at your full potential on and off the playing field. If you're serious about your athleticism and training, no one makes you better than Velocity Sports Performance.
Welcome back to Palisades country as the Pirates up 14-0 over the Notre Dame Crusaders. Crusaders with the football, Doug, and you look at it right now. The Palisades fans, of course, and cheerleaders having fun right now, as everybody here in the football, because it's football. Notre Dame fans on the other side, but right now it's one of those drives that Gambos wants to see if he can get something going. Lots of open room. Will he throw it or will he run? He'll throw it. Airs this one up. Has someone downfield and pipped at the last second. Was looking for Manny Stewart, who was waiting for it coming in his way. I'm not sure if that was Patterson. It was defensively making the play.
And Gambos, obviously, we saw a tremendous arm to stop and get it downfield. Looking at the film tomorrow and then Monday, they probably he might have elected to keep it and get the first down yardage, but he thought he had Stewart beat, and you're going to say just off the fingertips of Patterson, looking for Manny Stewart downfield, but not a bad job by Gambos. Great job to throw it down the field.
Second quarter brought to you by Kleckner & Sons Electrical Appliances on MacArthur Road in Whitehall. Glad you could join us on Service Electric 2 Sports. Al DiCarlo, Doug Heater, Merrick Marakovitz. 14-0 your score. 3rd down 15 for the Crusaders. Gambos far side. Pumps once, now throws. Looks and finds his favorite target, number 9, Tom Van Sickle. That's a first down up towards the 38-yard line.
Van Sickle running a route that's going to gain him just enough, about 2 yards more than they need for the first down. Runs across the field, a square out long route down the field, across the middle. Gets his feet inbounds with Stewart right there as well. Patterson with him the whole way. A nice job by Gambos again to deliver that ball on the run. That's a tough throw to his wide receiver.
First and 10 now from the 39. They will go to the ground. Taken there by Klotz. Klotz with a nice little pickup here on first down.
Once again, they go back to the middle. They start out with 2 straight pass plays to stretch the Palisades defense, and they go back off the right side with Klotz, the fullback.
Doug, go ahead.
Just to reestablish that inside running game.
You said not the typical wing T because they like to throw the ball as well. Not a Parkland wing T offense where they're running 99% of the time, and you can see the reason being is Gambos has some receivers and he likes to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely, and his ability to sprint out and throw on the run, another reason why you can't deny the fact that he's got a strong arm, you got to throw the ball.
2nd down and 5. They'll stay on the ground and push their way forward, and this will be a couple more yards downfield. And again, the carry by Klotz.
The other thing that dimension does is it becomes more difficult for a defense to prepare for this version of a wing T because you have the threat, or more of a threat, of a passing game. So they go back inside again 2 straight plays, which this team is content to do, run it up the middle. But if you've got that threat outside, especially with Stewart's ability to break it outside too, it becomes real difficult to keep your focus defensively and know where you have to go to make those plays.
Now Palisades looking to stop him here. 3rd down and 1. Notre Dame in much need of a 1st down, and Gambos just flies through and will get the 1st down inside the 50, and he gets down to about the 48 depending on the spot.
He got a good spot too, down to about the 47-yard line, and the Crusaders are going a quick count with that quarterback sneak. Take a look, Gambos, just a quick count. They go on sound right up the middle, goes right over his center, Nico Italiano, 52. And really, you actually get into the secondary about 5 or 6 yards before anyone realized the ball was snapped. That was a great play call by Notre Dame and executed well by center and quarterback.
Approaching a 10-minute mark of quarter number 2. 14-0 Pirates on top of the Crusaders. Gambos will give that one up to Stewart. Stewart tries to make the turn, now finds some running room, and may stepped out of bounds and did. At about the 42. Stewart came into the game with 16 carries for 107 yards and 3 touchdowns, also 6 receptions, 76 yards and a score.
They run a speed sweep with Stewart outside. Palisades tries to string it out. Stewart goes to the outside because Groover forced him, and then he steps right near the line, but then slips and falls. He tries to cut back, and Groover's there. Does a good job of staying in front of him, but a nice gain on 1st down for Notre Dame, testing the outside.
2nd down and 5 from the 42. Gambos to throw. Now it gets taken down for a loss. Looked like he was going to take him down for a big loss, and then it was a second effort by Palisades as they bring him down. And then the play by Eli Luke.
Well, Luke will get credit for the sack, but Grant Broach is the guy that makes the play, 74. He's going to get pressure first, coming from the backside, and enforce Gambos up out of the pocket, and there's Luke to make the play. Good job by Palisades as they rotate their front 4 to get pressure once again from just that defensive line on the quarterback.
9:13, clock continues to roll. 3rd down and 8 from the 45 for the Crusaders, down by the score of 14-0. 2nd quarter action. Great look at his new field. We were here opening night against Wilson. Not a rainy night. This not a rainy night, just a gorgeous night. Gambos to throw. Looks down and incomplete. Was looking downfield for Van Sickle.
Well, this was Will Fletcher this time that brought the pressure, 69, right up the middle. Now, Palisades brings a linebacker, and that opens up a spot for Fletcher to come up. Gambos taking a look down the field. Watch the shot he takes right on the ribs from Fletcher. That forces him to throw the ball high and sooner than he wanted, and it almost goes for an interception. Nice job by the Pirates defense to adjust on that 2nd down and 3rd down play to force those incompletions.
Also forgot to insert that mouthpiece back in his mouth, and he got hit pretty good. So 4th and 8 from the 45. That one taken and picked up by Klotz. And Klotz taken down at midfield. So all the advantage right now going towards Palisades as they get the ball right at midfield.
This was not by design.
No.
Just a bad snap, and Klotz was there to pick it up and make something out of it. But now Palisades, who had just done a good job defensively, gets a short field. They've got a 14-point lead, plenty of time to work with, 8:45 to go in the quarter. That offense has found some nice rhythm like Meredith talked about with Jensen, his ability to throw. This will be a very important defensive series for the Crusaders.
Well, they'll mark it down right at that midfield. And, you know, you look at the clock, Doug, 8:45, and a couple of the drives, they scored, you know, a couple touchdowns at the end of the first quarter, that one with 29 seconds. But right now, Palisades in the position to take their time, take some time off the clock, and punch another one in, depending on, and again, the problem they've been having so far tonight, if any problem, has been the penalties. Right now, it's Grenziger as he gets down to about the 46-yard line on the carry.
And they run a draw play on 1st down. Not a bad game, close to 5 yards. They'll spot it 4 yards. But a decent job by Notre Dame to pick up that draw to react to it with the ends and the receivers streaking downfield.
Yes, I got you. It's on him. I told him, let the guys get set before.
Glad you could join us on Service Electric 2 Sports on this Friday night. If you're watching us here on Friday night, Saturday afternoon football, Notre and Lehigh taking on Penn Argyll. Night game, Bethlehem Catholic and Parkland. 2nd down and 6 from the 46. To the ground, Gretzinger through the middle, gets the first down, pushes forward all the way up. All the way down, should I say, to the 35-yard line. Nice pickup by Gretzinger.
Well, Darryl Klotz ends up with the football, but that was when they hit the ground. This is a nice play. They run that blast play right up the middle with Saxton leading. You can see Gretzinger having the ability to pick where he wants to go, and then that's where the ball is pulled out. But a nice job on 2 run plays by Palisades to really test and challenge that offensive line, blowing Notre Dame off the line of scrimmage and allowing them to now move the chains once again.
Inside 8 to play, 1st and 10 from the 36. Jensen gonna throw, looks incomplete, was looking across the field and was looking towards David Kirk, the sophomore wide receiver.
And Kirk, you know, whether he or Jensen, whoever it was, on the wrong page. But if Kirk runs a slant, there's no safety over the middle. Both defensive backs head towards Kirk, toward the outside. If he can make a move inside and beat one of those corners, there's nobody deep over the middle. That could be something that Palisades looks to attack later on in this game.
Let's go!
2nd and 10 from the 36, 7:33 on the clock. Jensen taking his time under center. And take it himself. Now spins through and continues to move forward, and he's still on his feet. It's inside the 30-yard line.
Gets close to a first down. That's a nice run. Running that option to the short side of the field, it takes away a lot of your options because you don't have the long side to go. They'll come near side, short side of the field, and he elects to keep it, cuts it back because Notre Dame has it strung out well, and then watch the extra effort. Shakes off the tackle of Courrier, the nose tackle, and gains close to 5 extra yards after being hit.
Inside 7 from the 28. 3rd down and a long one here. Jensen's going to throw. Looks in the middle of the field, no one there. Now comes sideline. The catch is made for the first down by Patterson. Patterson's 4th catch of the night.
And that's as good as it gets. As good as Van Sickle's grab was on the far side of the field for Notre Dame, this one's better. And that was what Rock was talking about. Jensen maybe earlier doesn't make this decision. This time he does. He double pumps. And just a great throw outside. This is a tough one to make to Patterson, and delivers it where his receiver can get to it, gets the foot down, and moves the chains. This also shows you the confidence that Brian Gilbert has in his young quarterback, throwing the ball on 3rd down and short.
1st and 10 from the 21. There's some movement there by Palisades.
Gretzinger, forgetting the snap count, leans forward.
Try to make it not look like he was moving.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Sometimes guys will catch themselves and keep moving and go in motion sideways, but he stopped and then they got it. And now you mentioned it a few moments ago about if there's only one downside for Palisades, this is the big one. It's been these penalties, and this is just, you know, again, you hope it doesn't take them out of a drive, but it puts you into a 1st and 15.
Doug, again, different week 1 versus week 4 of the season when then it comes to penalties. And the coaches don't want them anytime. But here, 1st down and 15. Here's some running there. Coming near side. Down to the 10, 5, in for the touchdown from 26 yards is John Groover. A 26-yard touchdown run by Groover.
Boy, as frustrating as penalties have been for Palisades, how frustrated can Dave Brown be now with his team giving up a 1st and 15, a straight dive play up the middle, and Groover able to take it 26 yards for a touchdown. Right now, Palisades running game, they're firing on all cylinders and really can do anything they want. That's a tough way to come out if you're on the defensive side at 1st and 15, giving up that long run. But credit this offensive line for Palisades winning the battle.
Point after is through. 21-0 Palisades, 6:29 on the clock. Doug, we mentioned when you look at it, you take a look at the touchdown, is they could take their time off the clock and, go about their business. Well, they had the
Take a look, nice block here by Grant Broach, kicking his guy out of the way right there, doesn't hold, gets a good job, and then Groover making the moves downfield. You see Van Sickle, the free safety, try to come up and make the play, but there's Broach, nice job on the linebacker. That's Nico Italiano, the middle, kicks him out of the way. Groover anywhere to go, nice move, nice individual move into the secondary, and then that extra effort to get into the end zone.
Say Nico Italiani. That's one of the best names in the Colonial League.
That could be.
Let's go down to the field of Merida.
Mentioned the frustration that Dave Brown must be feeling right now after that last one, not being able to stop them on the first down. However, I don't think that's the only thing he's frustrated about. I don't think they have a way to stop this team. I don't think he expected them to throw as much as they are throwing, and I think that has kind of thrown his defense out of sync. And you really have to credit Palisades and their play calling and Jensen for being able to convert, for them to open up the field and keep this Notre Dame team guessing.
That's absolutely right. I mean, Jensen's resurgence here in this ball game has been tremendous, and that's something that they can now know they can look to throughout the season.
Man, Sicko fielded at about the 16 and then slipped.
Oh, and you knew this was coming. I know we talked about it in the first week. You could tell that he was really settling in as a quarterback, and obviously this is a huge confidence builder for him. But his passing and his success at it has also been helped out by the fact that Palisades can run the football. It hasn't allowed Notre Dame to bring any pressure, and that quick start's been a help as well. But Jensen's been tremendous on the offensive side of the ball for the Pirates tonight.
1st and 10 from the 18. Gambos will go on the ground. And a good run here is coming to the outside and making his move is Stewart. Stewart's still on his feet. Now Stewart busts outside. Stewart down to the 30-yard line. 25-20. He stumbles at the 15. 10-5. Touchdown. No indication. There it is. Touchdown for Stewart as he goes the length of the field. About an 85-yard touchdown run there.
82. That's as good a run as you're going to see. That is as good a run by an individual that you're ever going to see. He made some moves here where he should have been taken down in the backfield at least 3 times, and then almost stumbles, regains it, and then the effort at the end. You can see that it's not easy to go 82 yards with that many guys chasing you. That is a tremendous individual run by Stewart on a play that should have been taken down for about a 7-yard gain.
So the 82-yard touchdown run. Here's Pete Lundy trying to put Notre Dame on the scoreboard. That one is no good. So it's 21-6 on the miss by Lundy.
How tough is it to have just gone up 21-0 and then give up a run like this? But just a tremendous individual run by Manny Stewart, a sophomore. This is a player that you're going to see over the next couple of years and also the rest of this season by Notre Dame, making guys miss off the first move and then doing the same thing in the secondary, changing direction and cutting across. Here's the, it's not even a speed sweep. This is more of a buck sweep you'll run out of a wing tee where he'll loop around. There's one, then he cuts back and makes a guy miss here, heads down toward the middle of the field. Nice move, that's the third guy. And you're going to see here as he gets inside the 30, he's going to stumble. And then the last-ditch effort to just get in. Let's take a look. Great job to dive in. That was Brandon Manwaring chasing him down. I mean, that's a tremendous play to get Notre Dame back in this game.
Oh, when he came out to the outside, it looked like maybe he was going to float himself out of bounds and just cut in. So Stewart, who checked in with 107 yards rushing, has added 82 on one play. Lundy with the kickoff, fielded at the 15-yard line, up towards the 20, middle of the seam, and up to a 38-yard line on the run back.
Well, as nice as that is, though, Notre Dame still needs to do 2 things. Number one, they need to figure out what to do defensively here to stop this Palisades offense. And second, while that run is great and you love to have it, you've got to develop consistency on the offensive side. It's not going to happen every play, but it shows Dave Brown and his offensive coaches, they've got a tremendous player here that can make some big things happen. Don't be surprised to see him utilized a lot more in this ball game, trying to hit that outside and get in the open.
So they'll start at the 39, inside 6 to play, second quarter. 21-6 your score. Jensen, receiver split, either side getting the throw. Comes near side, Patterson's 5th catch of the night. And right at midfield, looks close, and they marked it for a first down. So first down for Patterson and Palisades.
We mentioned Patterson, how he's having a great night as well. As good as Jensen's played, he's got a nice receiver to go to that's going to make the play, and pass protection's the key. Jensen, there's a throwing lane he has right there, steps up, has a nice throwing lane to deliver that ball outside. He's not getting hit, and he's also finding a nice lane to deliver a dart to his wide receivers.
Ball right at midfield. 4 receivers, 2 split either side. Jensen from the shotgun. Rolls going to take it. Cuts in the middle of the field. Jensen's got some running room. Inside the 20, 10, 5, touchdown, 50 yards for Kyle Jensen. And they return the favor. Palisades up 27-6, just like that.
How about another dimension that we just saw from the quarterback? Man, did he turn it on. That was like a rocket got shot out of there. That play designed well to go outside the line. Now they come out 4 wide, no backs. So you think they're going to run a design roll. They run a trap outside with the guard, and then Jensen just turns it up the middle or turns it up to the left side and takes off into the secondary. Boy, that was a tremendous play. As good as his arm has been, how about the fact that he's able to also do it with his legs as well?
Point after up, and that one hit the crossbar, or the upright, and no good. So 27-6 is your score. Hey, Doug, how about, if you take a look at the play, how about 3 touchdowns in the last minute and 9 seconds?
And you're going to see Jensen just turn it on in the secondary. They go shotgun. Now he'll roll. He'll get a nice block outside by his line, and then there he goes, just gone. And, you know, the outside contain was there. He finds a cutback lane to turn it back up, and he hits that line. When he hits that line, he takes off, broaches outside, and there he goes, and he's gone. And there's nobody that's going to be able to touch him. They try to pursue it down the line, but once he hits that cutback, he's gone into the secondary. Another dimension that we really haven't seen yet this year, his speed.
And he take 2 plays, 61 yards. Jensen on the 50-yard touchdown run. You look at that, and you look on the other side of the field, and Dave Brown, he's saying, we finally, you know, come up with a big play, and we just give it right back. So his team now, with 5:20 on the clock, Doug, we're talking about a minute later. I mean, 3 touchdowns have been scored when we said Palisades has the ball now, and an opportunity with 6:30 on the clock maybe to, you know, run a lot of time off the clock. We've scored 3 touchdowns since that time.
Well, let's see what Notre Dame can do. They can answer back. So talk about frustrations and Brian Gilbert. How about Dave Brown getting back in the game, and then a couple plays later, his defense surrenders another touchdown.
Well, Notre Dame will get good field position to start. 5:20 on the clock, 27-6 is your score. Take you through the scoring real quickly. Palisades, an 8-yard touchdown run by Adam Grenziger, made it 7-0. That was with 8:15 on the clock first quarter. Then Bill Saxon, a 3-yard touchdown run with 29 ticks left, made it 14-0 after 1. In the second, a 26-yard touchdown run by John Gruber made it 21-0. That with 6:29 on the clock. Then just 25 seconds later, Notre Dame on an 82-yard touchdown run by Manny Stewart made it 21-6. And Palisades on a 50-yard touchdown run by Kyle Jensen, the QB, 27-6. And that's where we stand right here with the ball at the 35.
And Notre Dame electing to take the ball at the 35-yard line and take the penalty.
And pushing his way forward is Mike Hughes. I don't believe that's Mike Hughes' first carry of the night.
Right, and they run a similar play that they ran with Stewart, but just to the opposite side. And Hughes, and frustration on Palisades' side that they weren't able to stop that run. But that's the consistency that the Notre Dame offense wants to see if they can develop. It's a great run on first down with Mike Hughes.
11-yard pickup by Hughes. The ball up to the 46-yard line. And they give this one to Klotz. Klotz towards midfield.
They come back up the middle with Klotz. They go outside to set up the first play, and now they come back inside on the second play to Klotz. Nice run, 4-yard gain on first down with your fullback. That blast up the middle.
Hope you're enjoying our coverage here. Friday Night Football on Service Electric 2 Sports. Al DiCarlo, Doug Heater, Meredith Marakovitz from Palisades High School. Gorgeous new field. Great facility. And they'll go to Manny Stewart. Stewart trying to make a turn, nothing there. He's going to try to go the other way, and then just goes down. He looked back, Doug, and saw a swarm of Palisades Pirates coming his way, thinking maybe he can make the turn, but nothing there.
They run a counter with Stewart, does Notre Dame, and this time the difference here is that the Pirate defense just stays with him step for step. There's your counter down the near sideline. Pursuit coming from Vernilson. They'll string it out down the line of scrimmage. Groover comes up, and then they over pursue, turns him back inside, just nowhere to go. You got 7 defensive players, there's 7 black jerseys, nowhere to go for Manny Stewart. So a much better job by Palisades to stay with the quick Stewart, string him down the line, and force him to take a knee into the dirt or into the turf.
Yep. 3:44 on the clock. Walters Pharmacy.
Which one? I wonder what play we're going to see here.
You never know. Walters Pharmacy's play. Great play of the first half.
Well, of course, it's Manny Stewart's touchdown run. And again, this is a great play. There's a little juke move. You get outside of Groover. He makes a second guy miss.
Nice
cuts
move
back third. And then you'll see the speed. And you've got Negri, or Manwaring, excuse me, taking the right angle. But Stewart, watch the effort at the end. I mean, it doesn't, you know, it improves as we finish. As you can see, the knee isn't down. That last-ditch effort. That's a long way to go. 82 yards, and you add a little bit east to west. And that's a well over 100-yard run, and still the energy and the effort at the end to dive in and get the touchdown.
So a solid night after that run by Manny Stewart. It was 82 yards. But Palisades with Kyle Jensen, the QB, came right back with a 50-yard touchdown run. And we stand at 27-6, 3:44 on the clock.
Well, once again, you're seeing a great crowd here on hand at Palisades. This is their first home game since the opener. We're going to take a look at the Pirates. And you're going to be okay with that, right? You're afraid of Shep.
I'm scared of the Pirates, too.
Scared of the Pirate. We've seen him before, by the way. I know we saw him last year a lot, preseason. But you're seeing a great crowd. The support has still been tremendous here at Palisades for a team that's not started the way they want, and they're liking what they see so far tonight.
Here's Gombo's 3rd down and 9. Receiver split far side. He rolls that way, a quick toss, and has a receiver, and that is Stewart. Stewart, the first down, as he gets down to about the 40-yard line.
What you're seeing here is what we talked about a few moments ago. Dave Brown and his coaching staff, you know, have emphasized now getting the ball in the hands of number 10. They sprint out Gombos, which we talked about earlier, get it to Stewart in the flat, sort of like a screen, but just no blockers downfield other than his wide receivers. He's downfield about 5 yards, 7 yards, makes a catch, and then turns it upfield or downfield, and he goes for enough for the first down, move the chains once again.
Stewart with a 12-yard pickup. They'll pitch it back. And all the way inside the 30-yard line, first carry of the game by Colin Freitas, the sophomore. We've seen a couple more players being involved here, trying to maybe get some fresh bodies in there for Notre Dame, Doug.
And Freitas is a guy that Dave Brown talked about earlier. Freitas, another sophomore. That's Stewart, Freitas, and Klotz, all young guys, all sophomores, getting the outside. You know, and if your line can execute, these are the kind of plays you can make, even if you don't have the speed or the quickness of it or the moves of a Manny Stewart. Freitas, nice job. First time we've seen him off the edge, and he moves the chains as well.
1st and 10 from the 26, Notre Dame inching closer, and they'll hand this one off. That's Freitas' 2nd straight carry for the sophomore.
Nice job by Vernilson to turn that play inside. Looks like Klotz ran out of his shoe, or excuse me, that's Freitas that ran right out of his shoe. I thought it was Kaiser's first. But a good job by Palisades and Vernilson to turn that play inside as they run a counter. But Notre Dame is doing a good job on this drive of being consistent, staying on the ground, going outside, going back inside. Line doing a nice job of executing this wing tee and running the football.
2nd down and 6. Gombos has got to try to throw that one towards the sideline. And that one's incomplete.
And there's the pass pressure coming Gombos' way. Gombos decides to throw it away. Fortunate that it didn't get to the sideline, but the disruption there by the Pirate defense to force him to step up and then throw it where he didn't want to. Palisades change up the defensive looks a little bit, or the defensive look that play that time, brought some pressure, and it forced the incompletion.
27-6 as you see the score with 2:22 on the clock. 2-down territory here for the Crusaders, you would think. 3rd down and 6. They mark it right at the 22. Gambos, here comes the pressure. Gonna throw, gets hit as he throws it. Incomplete. Van Sickle was asking for a penalty flag, nothing called. So 4th down.
That's Negri down there on the coverage. A great job by him to come over top, but the play starts with the defensive pressure coming from Palisades. Klotz unable to pick up the blitz. We'll take a look. There's the pressure coming, and then comes over the top. I don't know if the contact was made. You also don't know if the ball was slightly tipped at the line. They want the call downfield where they won't get it. Coming over the top, good defensive play by Negri and Palisades.
So 4th down and 6, 2:15 on the clock. The ball at the 22. Gambos trying to convert on the offense. Palisades with the cowbells ringing here in Kittnersville. And they give it over to Van Sickle. Van Sickle pushes forward. He'll get the 1st down and keep the drive going.
Good play call by Notre Dame. Great play call because they felt the pressure was coming. They run a slant. That's a great call against a blitz. Van Sickle running a slant over the middle. Quick 3-step drop. Gambos looks at his receiver, delivers a dart. Good enough for a 1st down and more. Saxon, a linebacker, first guy to hit him, but not before the chains have moved. And now Notre Dame, for the first time tonight, inside the 10-yard line.
1:53 and counting. They'll mark the ball at the 9. 1st and goal. Crusaders. And they give this one up. It's Hughes. Hughes goes nowhere.
Saxton makes the play. Now they had a sweep going to the opposite side. The whole flow was going toward the sideline. So Saxton's going to come in from the back side of the play when Hughes decides to cut back. And there is Saxton to meet him in the hole for the big stop along with Vernilson. 2 guys that have had solid defensive games here tonight from the linebacker position for Palisades.
Well, timeout on the field with 1:31 on the clock. This next play will be the 11th play of the drive. They started the ball at the 35-yard line, Doug, with 5:20 left. So taking the time off the clock, but how about 11-play drive here, trying to get something going?
And that's what I had said. Stewart's run is nice, but you need to develop some consistency, and that's exactly what they've done here. A nice productive drive, 11 plays. They, of course, need to finish off here with a touchdown, but this is what Dave Brown wants to see from his offense.
Let's take a look at the Crusaders' football schedule to this point. You take a look at them for right now. Northwestern, they lost that one 31-21. They beat Southern Lehigh 34-7. 47 loss to Palmerton. Palisades, of course, tonight. And a little tough streak there continuing. They get Palisades at Northern Lehigh, Salisbury at Saucon Valley, and then they'll finish the year Bangor, Penn Argyl, and then at Wilson, the favorite to win the Colonial League.
That's a tough stretch after tonight because you've got 3 tough middle games, Northern Lehigh, Salisbury, and Saucon Valley, and then Notre Dame finishes with their 3 rivalry games, Bangor, Penn Argyl, and then, of course, ending the season at Wilson. Definitely not easy for anyone, so not a real easy schedule after tonight for the Crusaders.
2nd down and goal, and that's Stewart. Stewart gets pushed out of bounds.
Is that it?
Inside the 5-yard line.
What's that?
It'll be interesting to see what this penalty flag is on.
Mark this one at about looks like the 3-yard line, Doug.
Yeah, they're right around the 3-yard line. Let's see. Now they did. I thought they threw a flag there.
No, it wasn't a flag. That was a football.
The football flew out there, right?
Yeah, the football came flying out of there.
For Palisades, he strung that out kind of nice. I thought maybe Stewart would cut that back, and he's been the thorn in their side here in the 2nd quarter. So no touchdown is a win for them.
3rd and goal from the 3. $1:23 left, first half. Gambos under center. Hands it off. And fighting his way towards the end zone is Hughes. And they'll bring up a 4th down.
Well, you wonder if they go for it here. They don't keep Gambos in on the naked bootleg because there is nobody here on this side of the field. And he's doing a nice job of carrying that fake out. I thought Hughes got in. Let's see that opening if he goes that way. But look at the wall in front. And how about Palisades coming up and making the stop in the secondary? Great job by that defense. And there's Saxton again to fill the hole. So that's what Notre Dame is going to talk about now. They realize they want to punch it in here. They don't want to settle for 3 points. They want to get that touchdown.
No, if anything, Doug, momentum, you want to build it your way as you go into the locker room. Right now, we said that it started exactly 5 minutes ago. That drive, it was 5:58. We're at 58 seconds. This will be the 13th play of the drive.
And actually, Palisades took this time out here to make sure they get the proper personnel on the field as well. I'm pretty sure they're going to talk about that naked bootleg with Gambos if he carries it out. Now, this is spotted on the right side hash, so the long side is our near side. A lot of room this way if they do elect to go that route.
Next Friday night, Freedom taking on Allen. Live coverage at 7 o'clock. Bridgewater versus Phillipsburg. Same night coverage at 10 p.m. Hope you're enjoying all our coverage on Service Electric 2 Sports throughout each and every Friday and Saturday. Next week, Harvard, Lehigh, and FNN and Muhlenberg. Same night coverage at 5. We also have, of course, this Saturday, Penn Argyll, Northern Lehigh, Parkland, Bethlehem Catholic. Fourth and goal, excuse me, and they're trying to get in, and Palisades D comes up big. They needed about a yard, maybe less than a yard. Now a flag comes up. And Doug, would this be an interesting call?
Well, obviously there's an unsportsmanlike in there. If you're Palisades, you'd hate to be you because that would be a retaliation. But let's wait and see.
After the play, we have a dead ball foul against the white team. It'll be first down Palisades, 15-yard penalty.
Well, that's doubly bad if you're Notre Dame. Let's make it triple. You don't get the touchdown. You don't get Palisades' offense to start at the 1-yard line. As you take a look, Gambos tries to run a sneak. The Palisades interior defensive line stands him up, and there's the penalty coming on that unsportsmanlike conduct. Look at the penetration down low by that defensive front four, and then just driving Gambos back. So not only do you not get the touchdown, at the very least, you figure, well, Palisades has got to start the 1-yard line. You get the unsportsmanlike. It moves them out with much more breathing room now to the 16. So just a tough series of events there for the Crusaders.
51 ticks on the clock, 27-6, ball at the 16, not at the half-yard line where it would have been without the penalty and not scoring. Jensen's going to throw, see what he gets here on first down. Has a receiver, and he connects inside the 50, and then the ball is fumbled away, and I think Notre Dame may have come up with it.
They did.
So Patterson had it, just gave it up. And Notre Dame now comes up with the big play defensively, Doug, with 38 seconds left and a timeout. Let's see what they end up doing as that one's pulled away as Tom Van Sickle takes it right out of Patterson's hands.
Watch the pump and go. There's the pump, and then he goes. Patterson on that fly route down the sideline gets past the defensive back Hughes. Look at Van Sickle strip it out of there. And then it looks like that's DeFalvio, 23, that makes the recovery. Just a big play. And, there's so many things to get frustrated on for both sides here. Palisades, a great play, but then just a tremendous defensive play by Van Sickle to rip it out of there. And that's a very dangerous one, because if he breaks free, if Patterson breaks free, could go for the touchdown.
Gambos throws far side. Van Sickle stops the clock at the 49-yard line.
Got two guys down. Mike Hughes took a shot here in the secondary. Hughes 24 in the secondary for Palisades. Hughes from Notre Dame took a shot on that, so he's late getting up. You take a look, there's Hughes, but Notre Dame is forced to take a timeout. A high percentage route out of bounds to Van Sickle to just move the ball closer down to the field.
Well, speaking of the field, let's go down to the field in Meredith.
As you just saw, certainly getting a lot more physical out here. You saw with the unsportsmanlike, now that possibly a late hit. These guys are starting to get a little riled up. Notre Dame feeling like they can get back in this game, a little upset about some of the calls. Actually, Jim Haney went over to the Notre Dame bench a few plays before and tried to calm down the Notre Dame coaching staff. He was about to call a penalty on them, so it'll be interesting to see how the rest of this game unfolds. If the guys continue to get a little out of control down here, or if they'll be able to settle down and finish out this half, guys.
4 seconds left on the clock. And Doug, Patterson's number, he had that big reception there at the end and fumbled the ball away for him. 5 receptions, 124 yards. Obviously, you take that in twofold right there. Makes the catch, a big reception over 50 yards. They're going the other way, to try to punch in another touchdown. Instead, Notre Dame comes up they were knocking at the door. The ball at the 1 yard line inside the one, couldn't convert. So we'll see how if Notre Dame can get this one back with 34 seconds left. They do have one timeout remaining. Gambos to throw, and he will convert. And
well, now the indication there by the head linesman is that you got to run the clock, so they'll stop it momentarily, set the chains, and run it. He did not get out of bounds.
26 seconds left on the clock. Gambos to throw. Again, they go near side, and Van Sickle gets out of bounds.
Notre Dame really doing a nice job of moving the ball on short chunks down the field on those out patterns by Van Sickle.
Doug, they're only taking about 4 seconds off the clock. I know they still, they only have 19 left.
And if you're Palisades, you got to be concerned. You don't want to give up the 7 or 8 yards, but you're also worried that Van Sickle's going to hitch and then take off down the sideline, or they're going to get Stewart out in the flat to go for a touchdown. So the Pirate defense being real cautious here to not allow Notre Dame back in the football game.
Yeah, pick up the 7 to 37. Gambos fakes once and then gets to the Van Sickle, and he gets out of bounds, and will stop it after the first down.
And actually, if you're Palisades, you take a look. I mean, Van Sickle didn't really have anyone close to him. They're letting them complete that. Now, Gambos faked the pump and go. He pumped, but then hit it on a flat to Van Sickle, and he just hopped out of bounds. But if you're the Pirates, you just don't want to have anybody get behind you in that secondary.
At the 31-yard line, is there enough time here? They do have the timeout. They have not taken a shot. Get downfield with 13. They've been getting 7 out of pop. From the 31, 13.5 seconds left. They're going to throw. Gambos middle of the field. That one's picked off. Intercepted by Nelson. And Palisades with 8 seconds will likely run one play and go into the locker room with a big lead.
Well, as sharp as Gambos had been on that drive, that was a poor decision. And he gets the pressure, so he throws it over the middle. You'll take a look. There's the pressure coming. And then look, there's 4 Palisades guys, 3 right there around the ball, and then 4 or 5 coming in. So right over the middle, they would have been forced to use a timeout, and then it goes the other way. So 2 interceptions have been very costly for Notre Dame here tonight.
So Palisades defensively stop them inside the 1 yard line. They get the big play, then turn the ball over, and Notre Dame gives it back with 8.4 seconds. They'll take the knee, and Notre Dame will find themselves in the locker room down by 21 as the clock will wind down. End of one half of play from Palisades. The Pirates with an 0-3 record trying to get back on the winning track. They lead at the break 27-6. We'll be back on 2 Sports.
Since the Overhead Door Company makes the original overhead door, the people who install and service them take them pretty seriously. Call or log on for the overhead door dealer nearest you.
Hey, football fans, if you love dealing with a winning team, head to the leader, Kleckner's in Whitehall and Emmaus for the fabulous GE kickoff sale. Browse our huge selection of GE ranges, GE refrigerators, GE dishwashers, GE washers, and GE dryers. Now at Kleckner's, get great savings plus free delivery, free haul away of old, a full parts department, and their own factory-trained techs. Stop in today. See why Kleckner's has been serving the Lehigh Valley since 1945. 2 locations, Kleckner's, 2177 MacArthur Road in Whitehall and 575 Chestnut Street, Emmaus.
Mark Mulchaney and Power Realty's sole mission is unprecedented real estate service. With an undying commitment to quality, Mark Mulchaney provides you professionalism, outstanding service, wealth of knowledge, experience, and reliability. Mark Mulchaney and Power Realty, the power to move you. 610-433-6600 or on the web at powerrealtyhomes.com.
The Family Prescription Center in Bethlehem has served the needs of its customers for over a century. We want to help you save money on your prescriptions by offering the Family Care Plan. By enrolling in this program, you get the benefit of discounted pricing even if you are not covered by an HMO prescription plan. Individual membership is only $35 a year, and family membership is only $50 a year. Call us today at 610-866-0709 or stop by the Family Prescription Center today to enroll in the Family Care Plan and start saving.
You have what it takes to score big. The build, the drive, the pen. At Schuylkill Valley Sports, that's all you need. Just fill out an entry form for your chance to win a $500 gift certificate good for anything in the store. If you don't, someone else sure will. And hey, the lucky winner will also get a one-year membership to Velocity Sports Performance, over a $2,000 value. Entry deadline is November 3rd, and the winner will be selected on November 17th. No purchase necessary. See our Palmer Park, Phillipsburg Mall, and South Mall store locations for complete details. Schuylkill Valley Sports. Stop, shop, and win.
Friday nights and Saturday afternoons were made for football, but the rest of the week was made for saving money on a new Chevrolet at Faulkner. Looking for the best Chevrolet price, the best Chevrolet selection, and friendly people ready to help before, during, and after the sale? Faulkner Chevrolet is your hometown dealer. So today, enjoy the game. Tomorrow, save on a new Chevrolet at Faulkner Chevrolet, proud sponsor of high school football in the Lehigh Valley, to be sure.
We're back here at Palisades High School. There's your halftime score. The Pirates leading the Notre Dame Crusaders 27-6. And for our halftime entertainment tonight, the Palisades High School Marching Band.
High school principal, Rick Heffernan, activities director, Rebecca George, the school board, teachers, and band boosters for their ongoing support to the music program. We hope you enjoy our Blues Brothers 2006-2007 show.
Halftime score. We'll step aside and come back with the first half numbers and highlights on Service Electric 2 Sports.
At Lehigh Valley College, our goal is getting you a career you'll love.
You have every opportunity in the world to succeed in your major.
A lot of the experience that I'm taking out of here has surpassed my expectations for sure.
It's everything you need in college.
You're only here for a year and a half, and you get the training and the skills and the experience that employers are looking for.
Lehigh Valley College gave me a great start in my career.
Call 888-806-0808 for more information. That's 888-806-0808.
Mark Mulchaney and Power Realty's sole mission is unprecedented real estate service. With an undying commitment to quality, Mark Mulchaney provides you professionalism, outstanding service, wealth of knowledge, experience, and reliability. Mark Mulchaney and Power Realty, the power to move you. 610-433-6600 or on the web at powerrealtyhomes.com.
From business and life insurance to car and property, we have the policy that will work for you for less. You're more than a customer at D.E. Cressman Insurance Agency because we really care. When you decide to use our services, you become a member of a growing family. We are a full-line agency at D.E. Cressman Insurance and welcome the opportunity to quote your auto, home, commercial, and life insurance needs. So don't get bugged about your insurance rates because we are here for whatever your need may be. We've got you covered. Give us a call at 610-433-1568 or visit our website.
I'm Andy Cohen, head football coach of the Lehigh University Mountain Hawks. Today's tip is for the tailbacks. Today we're going to be talking about running with patience and vision. All great tailbacks possess patience and vision, as well as being able to run with speed and power. Patience to the line of scrimmage. As you get the handoff, you want to run, always saving an extra gear to explode through the hole. As the linebacker stays behind you as you're running, you want to be able to explode through the line of scrimmage and hit the ball front side. Patience and vision becomes critical when you have a defense that's over pursuing the football. As we start to run to the same spot, the linebacker over pursues the play. You want to be able to plant, use that extra gear, that patience to the line of scrimmage, explode, have your good vision so you see the openings backside, explode through, creating a big play off an over pursuing defense. Patience and vision for the tailback, that's today's tip.
Welcome back to Palisades High School. Al DeCarlo alongside Doug Heater. Glad you could join us. Halftime from Palisades, and the score 27-6. Well, obviously, two halves of football to be played. First half, a bunch of, good plays as well. We take a look at the first half highlight.
I'll tell you what, and there was a handful of them here. We'll start first with Notre Dame. The D.E. Cressman Insurance Agency incorporated first half highlights here tonight from Palisades High School. First for the Crusaders, and things not starting off too good for them, but here's a nice pass from Gombos to Van Sickle on an out pattern. He is definitely going to be a factor later in this game. And then Manny Stewart, again, if you didn't see this live, this is a tremendous individual run. He made about 4 guys miss, turns it on in the secondary, stumbles a little bit at the 25, and then watch the effort at the end, the dive just inside the pylon with Brandon Manwaring there chasing him. A tremendous individual run, and that's the only touchdown of the night for Notre Dame, and a handful here for Palisades. Very solid first half for the Pirates.
Well, it starts with the scary Pirates to start things off for them. And, you know, they had their ground attack early, and that's exactly what they wanted to do. The first touchdown you see by Gretzinger, it was 8 yards on the touchdown run for him. And, you know, they're happy from there. And then take a look as this one was aired up by Gombos, and then they intercepted. And that sets up another play. Patterson's been everywhere tonight, Doug, offensively and defensively as well. There you see the 3-yard touchdown run by Bill Saxton. That made it 14-0. That came with 29 ticks on the clock in the first quarter. That gave Palisades a 14-0 lead. And then the handoff went over to John Gruber. This from 26 yards as he made a couple of good moves and then dove into the end zone. That made it 21-0. Palisades, though, not done at that point for them because they continued to a little onslaught. And the reason being is, take a look at Jensen. Take it and go. He goes 50 yards for the score. That makes it 27-6, and that's where they stand. And Jensen, some good numbers through the air, and also, you know, obviously when you get 50 yards rushing, that helps you as well. The big stop here defensively, you see the bouncing. That's not our camera guy. That's
a crowd.
That's a crowd, you know, jumping up and down. That's exactly what it is. They stopped him right there. That was a huge defensive play. Then the 15-yard penalty, and they get the ball back.
And now we'll take a look at the overhead door halftime statistics, and some of these numbers can be a little bit glaring. The first down's very, very even there. Palisades 8, Notre Dame 6. And then passing numbers, I think you got to look at Kyle Jensen's 5 of 8 for 140 being tremendous, and Gombo's at 6 of 14, interception and 60 yards. Then rushing yards on the night, 117 for Palisades. They got to be real pleased with that. Notre Dame 122. Total yards very, very heavy to Palisades, 312 to 182. That's 312 yards in the first half and a turnover apiece. I tell you what, guarantee both these coaches want to try to hone it a little bit better, tweak it, and not commit to penalties. That's been the only negative thing for Palisades tonight has been the penalties to stop drives.
Well, Kyle Jensen, some individual numbers. Kyle Jensen, 4 carries, 70 yards. The big one, of course, that 50-yard run. Saxton with 6 carries on the night for 26 yards, and Gretzinger with 6 carries for 46 yards. Take a look at Jensen, though. We mentioned 5 of 8, $140, and the touchdown pass for him. You know, and then on the other side, you know, the guy he's been thrown to, Bradley Patterson, 5 catches, 124 yards. I mean, he's done a job. We saw the play, the interception. You know, he's had some big receptions at the same time.
Absolutely, and if you're Palisades, you've got to love what Kyle Jensen's been able to do individually tonight. He's been able to run the ball. We saw the touchdown run, and he's also been very, very consistent. We saw his passing numbers. This is a guy that hasn't been a starter up until this season. There's Patterson's numbers. He's been that big play threat. 5 receptions for 124 yards, and the flea flicker that we saw earlier in the ball game, those are yards. That's about 50 yards taken away from his numbers. He's a guy that Brian Gilbert knows is going to be productive. He had a touchdown called back against Northern Lehigh. Could have completely changed the game. He's had a couple big catches tonight called back as well. So Palisades in a rhythm. They've got to figure out some way to eliminate those penalties in the second half, and they're going to be well on their way to sealing this one up.
Well, for rushing numbers for Notre Dame, Manny Stewart with that big run earlier, the 82-yard run, he has 5 carries for 86 yards, and Klotz with now 6 carries, just 18 yards, and receiving. Van Sickle, we see him, you know, the punt, the returns and everything else, 6 catches for 53 yards coming through. But interesting, as the second half is about to start, Notre Dame still has yet to come out to the field. So we're waiting for the Crusaders to make themselves down to the field, and we go down to the field with a report at half by Meredith.
Guys, I've been looking at
We'll get back to Meredith in a second here. 27-6 is the score at the half. And, you know, we're still waiting on the Crusaders to come out of the locker room. And we go back down to the field in Meredith.
Guys, I still don't see him. They were extremely frustrated going in at halftime. Everyone from the coaching staff to the players. It was getting pretty intense out there on that field. I think a lot of the frustration came from some of the turnovers, some of the interceptions. They wanted some calls that they didn't get. That touchdown that they didn't convert on, I felt as though they did get into the end zone. So interesting to see what Dave Brown is saying to this team, trying to motivate them, trying to get ready for this next half. I'm not sure what he could have told them defensively, because this Palisades team has done a great job spreading out the field, evenly distributing it on the ground and in the air. So that's going to be something big that they're going to need to find a way to stop them. As far as Palisades is concerned, I don't think Brian Gilbert can have too many concerns aside from the penalties, which is obvious. So it'll be interesting to see how this second half unfolds and if this Notre Dame team is ever going to get out here on this field, guys.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I've never seen it this long, Doug. And, eventually, I mean, we're looking, down the field, is a penalty going to be called for delay of game?
Eventually, there will be something handed out. Unfortunately, penalty is not going to do any good if there's no team to kick off to or receive from. This is an odd thing that you and I, in all the years we've been doing games, have never seen this long of a delay. It's a 15-minute halftime. Nothing out of the ordinary here. It is youth night here, but no extra festivities at halftime, senior night or homecoming or anything like that. So interesting to see why it's been this long. They do have to walk across the road. They're over at the high school, walk across the road and come into the field, but shouldn't take this long to do it. Palisades having to do the same thing as well. So we'll have to see what happens. But you know what The Rock talked about, I mean, if you're Brian Gilbert, you want to eliminate those penalties and work on what you can do. He realizes that if they're able to do that, or if they had been able to do a completely different ball game. But he's got to feel real good the way his team is up 21 points, 27-6. And now we see the Crusaders making their way from the high school and now across the track back out into the football field.
Yeah, and at the same time as they come out, unless they're looking at a 20-minute halftime, and they present half at that time. But at the same time, Brian Gilbert, his team's been out here for about 3-4 minutes, Doug. And, they're ready, they're jacked up, they're leading 27-6, and now they got to get themselves regroup once again.
Yeah, and he's down here on the sideline now trying to get everybody pumped back up again. That's tough a lot of times. This game is so much about emotion, and as a head coach, timing everything just right. When you come out on the field before a game, when you go through everything you need to, your pregame talk, the whole deal. Same thing at halftime. You come out of that locker room, say something to motivate them, come out, rip the doors off the building, walk across the street, and come out and ready to go. And now you're standing here waiting around. It kind of takes away everything you've been able to do and talk about at halftime. So we'll see what this delay and if it affects either one of these guys.
So we are at the half, getting ready to start quarter number 3. 27-6. The Pirates take you through the scoring while we have the opportunity. An 8-yard touchdown run by Adam Grenziger made it 7-0 Palisades with 8:15 on the clock first quarter. Then Palisades on a 3-yard touchdown run by Bill Saxton made it 14-0. Palisades, then John Grover, a 26-yard touchdown run, made it 21-0. Then Notre Dame, an 82-yard touchdown run by Manny Stewart, made it 21-6. And the final scoring in the first half, Kyle Jensen, a 50-yard score at the half, 27-6. We go back to the field and Meredith.
Guys, the delay, much about nothing. Nobody went over to this high school to tell them that the halftime was over, so that's why they were delayed. An official actually went over to get them and tell them that the halftime had been over for several minutes, so they walked across. Talking to Dave Brown, he said he was excited with what he saw in the final minutes of that half. He felt as though offensively they were starting to come alive. He said they're going to try to continue to establish the run, but don't be surprised if you see them do a little bit of an aerial attack as well. They'd like to continue to try to get it to Tom Van Sickle and continue to get the offense rolling. Defensively, I said, how do you stop this Palisades team? They've been so successful both in the air and on the ground. He said, I don't know, good question. So I don't know if he had some more interesting things to say in the locker room or if they really are stunned by this Palisades offense, guys.
I know one of the things that Coach Brown likes about his team this year is his team speed, and that's what he's trying to do on the offensive side with Stewart. He needs to be able to figure out a way to utilize that speed on the defensive side. Palisades very much known for size and a very physical offensive line, a very strong offensive line. That's one of the things he's having trouble with, his interior part of the defense. is really winning and taking control of that line of scrimmage. So hopefully they've got the answer. If they don't, it's going to be a much longer second half for the Crusaders.
Well, they get ready to start second half, and the Crusaders will indeed get the football first, and it'll be Van Sickle from his own 14-yard line. They give it back to Stewart. Stewart on the reserves, has some running room. There he goes, up towards midfield, breaks one tackle, and gets taken down at about the 47-yard line. So great field position to start for the Notre Dame Crusaders.
And once again, two dangerous players in the backfield for Notre Dame, Van Sickle and Stewart, getting the ball in the hands of number 10, and that's what he can do. Great field position to start. Let's see if this offense can go back to what they did to get the ball inside the 10-yard line, even though it's still stalled at the 1. Go back to that ball control and running the football.
They will start on the ground, and they'll give this one up to Freitas, and Freitas lost a couple yards.
And a great job by Palisades inside. Leon Kokura, number 50, he makes his play. He gets inside, and you know that Freitas wants to go outside. He gets inside there, forces Freitas to turn it back upfield, and then with Kokura there, not only does he turn the play inside, but he makes a stop as well.
Third quarter brought to you by Kleckner & Sons Electrical Appliances on MacArthur Road in Whitehall. A 2-yard loss moves the ball back to the 49-yard line. Van Sickle lined up near side. Gombos loses the snap, has a dive back onto it, and will bring up a third down.
Two tough plays for Notre Dame, great defensive play, and then Gombo is just pulling out of center a little bit too quick. Puts him in a third down and long, a passing situation, allowing this Palisades defense to pin their ears back and bring some more heat. Notre Dame has had trouble, as any team would against this defense, converting on these third and longs. They've been able to do it tonight, but not enough. And this is going to become an important third down conversion to start this third quarter.
Third down and 14. Just underway, a minute 30 into the third quarter. A slow-moving contest between these two teams. The last 6 minutes of the first half took about 25-30 minutes. It was a long 6 minutes with 3 touchdowns scored. Gombos to throw. Gets hit as he throws. The ball deflected a couple times. A flag in the air. And that'll be an interception for Saxton.
Well, it seems that Freitas seems to think this is going to go against Palisades, and I'd have to lean that way as well. I doubt it's going to go on the offense. Now, remember, Palisades was not called earlier, and there's the pass interference called now on the Pirates. We'll take a look in the secondary. Gombo's forcing it in. The ball batted away. It's tough to see. Groover's there. Saxton's there. He's the one that makes the interception. We'll take a look at it a little bit slower. And again, I go back. Now, it looked like Groover made a great play getting his hand over.
Defensive pass interference. 15-yard penalty, previous spot foul, automatic first down.
So take away the interception, move it up 15 yards, and Notre Dame in business after the penalty.
Well, that one, some people felt they got away with, that one on that last drive, so that one they didn't. A little bit tighter ball game. And again, let's go back to what Meredith was talking about, a very physical game now. So you guys in stripes are going to start calling a tighter game to not allow this to get out of control.
First and 10 from the 36. 10-10 the clock, third quarter. Gombos to throw. Comes near side, and that's been there all night for Van Sickle. And he gets good yardage once again.
Yeah, and they're going to run these outs. This is what we saw on the end of the second quarter. So now Notre Dame's going to use it to move the ball down the field. Manwaring, the defensive back, giving him a lot of leniency there, a lot of yards on the coverage. So he'll run a short out, and they'll take the game.
A 9-yard pickup. The ball's at 27. They go to the ground, and they will indeed move the chains on the first down by Darryl Klotz.
Going back to running that fullback dive with Klotz. For Nilsson, the linebacker, only got to get any hands on him. They run up the middle. They've stretched the Palisades defense with that pass play, and now they come back up the middle for a nice gain to move the chains.
Doug, at the beginning of the game, we're talking wing T offense. Now we're just talking, trying to get back into the contest. A little different when you have number 2, and we mentioned a couple times, in your lineup.
Well, what this does is, again, the diversity of it is it's more of a throwing offense out of a wing T, but it still utilizes all the strengths that offense can provide.
First and 10 from the 23. They'll again go to Klotz, and Klotz dives forward, gets towards the 20.
Vernilson in back-to-back plays. They try to stretch it with running that sweep, faking it to him, and then bringing it back on a counter to Klotz. They fake it to Hughes. But a good job by the Palisades defense to break that play down inside and allow Saxton to make the tackle.
Nine minutes on the clock, third quarter, second down and 7 from the 21. Gombo's the throw. And that one incomplete. Was trying to go far side to Van Sickle, and it was underthrown.
And the pressure came, too, to force him to throw that one a little bit sooner. Kalinkos, 82, Evan Kalinkos, brought some heat from his linebacker position. And it forced Gombos to throw that one a little sooner. Didn't give him a chance to plant and throw that out that has worked so successfully in the second and now into the third.
I want to thank Rebecca George, athletic director here at Palisades, for accommodating us once again. Hope you're enjoying our broadcast. We were fed on 2 occasions by Rebecca George and also by Tony Curry. So we're okay up here.
Yeah, we're good.
It's all good. Timeout for the Notre Dame Crusaders. It comes with 8:55 on the clock, 27-6 to score. Glad you could join us once again. The ABE Doors and Windows timeout. Al DiCarlo, Doug Heater, and Meredith Marakovitz. Again, if you're watching us here on Friday night, Saturday afternoon, Northern Lehigh taking on Penn Argyl up in the Slate Belt. And then at night, the Bethlehem Catholic taking on Parkland, a battle of unbeatens. That should be an intriguing matchup, Doug.
And both of those games should be pretty interesting, and they both got their own little flavor to them. Obviously, the night game is a real statement game for both of those squads. People wondering how good each team is. I think we're going to find out tomorrow night with Becca and Parkland. And the same deal with Northern Lehigh and Penn Argyl. I think both those teams would much rather be undefeated, of course, but they'll take their 2-1 record, and they have something to prove as well.
Take a look at the Palisades football schedule. We'll wait on that. We'll get it the next time out. And right here, just a big situation here for Notre Dame and for Palisades. 3rd down and 7 from the 21. Here comes the pressure into the middle of the field. That one almost intercepted. As again, was looking downfield and just standing there waiting for that one was Brandon Manwaring in and out of his hands.
And Brad Patterson, his own player, might have been the one that disrupted it. Now, Manwaring's got that cast on his right hand. The pressure comes. Gombo's really fortunate that he doesn't get an interception. There's Patterson, doesn't get a piece of it, but definitely throws off the concentration of Manwaring. You see that cast on his right hand, and he tries to look it in his stomach and is unable to make the interception. But that interception, or near interception, should I say, set up again by the pressure on Gombos.
Now the fans on their feet here. 4th down and 7 from the 21. Gombo steps back to throw. Now he's pressured, throws far side, and that one's intercepted. Taken there on the play. And look at Palisades marching their way down, Mike Negri. And Negri's going to go the length of the field for the touchdown. A huge pickup of over 80 yards by Negri. And Palisades has increased their lead 33-6. Call it 72 yards.
Well, once again, a decision that Gombos would rather not make the next time. He throws this one, tries to force it. The pressure forces him out of the pocket, and he's looking for Klotz in the flat, and he throws it high. It looked like Saxton got a piece of it as well, and then you're going to see Negri looking in and take it the distance for a big, big turnaround.
So Negri with now a 79-yard interception return. They'll go for the 2-point conversion as they fake this one.
This is the old Rusty Gate.
Yep. And it works as they convert.
Looks like that was delivered by James Klein, the holder. The old Rusty Gate, you line up everybody off to the left. We'll take a look at the touchdown first. Here's the pressure, and then Gombos throws it high to Klotz. It tips off his fingers and then right into the hands of Mike Negri, who looks it in and then just takes it down the field. That's a dream for a linebacker to score that touchdown. Great speed to get there, but just not a great decision by Gombos, and we've seen a couple of those. He realizes his team is down 27-6, just trying to make a play.
And then they get 2-point conversion as well, and they lead now by a score of 35-6.
Palisades going for two really caught Notre Dame off guard, that one for sure. Palisades doing it on the defensive side as well. It's become a long night now for Notre Dame. The lone touchdown, that tremendous run by Manny Stewart.
So 2-point conversion, 35-6.
And this has become a carbon copy of the losses this year for Notre Dame so far. That slow start, getting behind early, and continuously battling and just not being able to come back from such a large deficit.
Taken by Fries. Fries up to the 30, jumps over a defender, and gets up to about the 42-yard line. So you look at that last possession by the Crusaders, Doug, and, you know, for the most part, you know, they're driving down the field, they're moving the ball effectively, and next thing you know, that pass turns into not a first down, but instead 7 points the other way. Or should I say 8 points the other way?
8 points, right. And, you know, you've really got to start and credit the Palisades defense on those last two plays. The third down play bringing pressure, and the near interception that goes in and out of the hands of Manwaring, and then the actual interception that goes the distance for the touchdown. But it's set up by that defensive front four.
Gambos rolls near side, looking for a receiver, has the tight end, but can't go that way, and then Gambos gets away from a defender, now has some running room off the back foot, and incomplete. And again, was looking downfield and trying to get free was Van Sickle, but the big hit there coming up by John Groover.
And Groover timed that one perfect, and that's the second time tonight we've seen Gambos elect to throw the ball with a lot of real estate in front of him instead of tucking it in and running. And of course, down 35-6, you're trying to make those big plays. Not a bad decision. He delivers a nice ball, just a great defensive play by Groover. And that secondary for Palisades now after the pass interference penalty kept that last drive going. A little more cautious and a much better play.
8:11 on the clock, third quarter, 35-6. Palisades on top. They give it to Stewart. He cuts back into the middle of the field and powers forward. Depending on the spot, looks like he may indeed have the first down.
Looks like he got it. Great run on second down and long. To see if Manny Stewart is a player that throughout the rest of the season, Notre Dame is going to try to utilize offensively. A tremendous threat, just a sophomore. He's had a solid game tonight, and he's definitely been one that when his hand's on the football, the Pirate fans are on the edge of their seat worried that he's going to take it the distance against their defense.
So the first down for Stewart, and about 100 yards rushing on the night. Now 1st and 10 from the 47. And they give this one up to Van Sickle. Van Sickle on the end around comes inside 45, makes the move inside the 40, and then again close to another first down.
One of the other areas of concern for Brian Gilbert in the Wilson loss in week 1 was some of the missed tackles, and that's always a concern of a coach. And here's a case where Van Sickle, they really do a nice job of stringing this outside. Vince Guadagnino, 54 out front leading the way, and Van Sickle's going to cut back and make two guys miss and then drag through a third. That's a nice individual run, but Palisades strings it out, but just can't seem to finish him off.
So they call it a pickup of about 9. And to the ground they go. They'll get the first down. Klotz inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line. So Darryl Klotz adding to his totals. And right now in this drive, Notre Dame moving the ball effectively. We've seen that throughout the night, but it got stalled at the 1-yard line. They got stalled in another possession, and that's all in, you know, credit to the Palisades defense.
Right, it is. And Notre Dame's inability to put, you know, to finish it off once you get down close at once. And then a turnover. That's that fullback counter they run with Klotz, bringing Stewart outside. But if you're the Pirate defense, yeah, it's 35-6. You want to avoid allowing Notre Dame to score quickly.
Back to Stewart, they give it to. Turn to the 30, inside the 25. Gets taken down at about the 24-yard line.
Now it's Patterson coming up, 21. That's a nice play for him from the secondary. They have a whole wall on that sweep in front, and he just knifes back from the backside of the play behind the blockers and makes a nice open field play. Hughes is out front, 24, and he's well downfield, and there's Patterson coming to make a nice tackle in the open field.
Approaching the 6-minute mark of quarter number 3. 2nd down and 7, ball to 25. Gambos the throw. And he taken down immediately. Looked like he wanted to just tuck it and go. When he tucked it, Palisades was right there to make the stop.
Much better job that time of keeping the Notre Dame quarterback in their sights and in the pocket. the protection breaks down and he's unable to elude like he had been in a couple of plays on this series earlier on.
Crusaders checking into the game at 1-2. Palisades with a record of 0-3. Loss on that yardage brings it back to the 29. Now 3rd down and 11. This is exactly in the location where we were when the interception was thrown. Here's Combos. He throws. And incomplete. Was looking again for Van Sickle to bring up a 4th down.
And Gombos takes a shot. Evan Kalinkos, 82, the defensive end, comes in, does a nice job of fighting off the block and not giving up and coming in and forcing Gombos to throw the ball high once again. Kalinkos going to come from the backside, makes a nice clean hit. Looked like Vernilson was in there as well, number 30. That kind of pressure tonight has been one of the reasons why Gombos has been forced to throw the ball sooner than he wants and a lot of times off the mark.
So 4th down once again for the Crusaders. The ball to 29. 3rd quarter action. Gombos, middle of the field, connects with Van Sickle, follows a blocker in front, and this one close to the 1st down marker, depending on the spot.
That's going to be real close. I don't know. I don't think so. I tell you what, Van Sickle does a nice job. Watch after he makes the catch, how he changes direction. He gets behind Klotz. Watch Klotz make the block. Right there, he sees his blocker. He changes direction and realizes that he's going to be able to gain the necessary yards, he thinks, for the 1st down following his blocker.
Doug, it looks like, I mean, from here, we have a bad angle, but just looking where it was marked on the sideline, maybe a half a football short.
I agree with you. I think that's the exact distance that they're short.
Take a look. This will be a 4th down or a change of possession right there.
We nailed it. Yep. I'll tell you, that's exactly right. Just a little bit short.
So instead of that 1st down, you get 1st down the other way for Palisades once again holding defensively.
And again, if you look at it the other side, Notre Dame, they put themselves in a 3rd down and long, 2nd down and long because of that pressure and the incompletions. They make one big play. Notre Dame does to almost convert, but just unable to finish off drives, whether it's been a touchdown before the end of the 2nd quarter and now the last 2 times they've touched it. This is the first time Palisades has had the ball offensively in the 3rd quarter, under 5 minutes to go.
1st and 10 from the 19. Hand the ball over to Saxton. Oh, no, that's Gretzinger, excuse me. Up across the 20. Maybe gets to the 21.
If you're Brian Gilbert, what you want to do here is you want to get one nice drive to seal this deal, put the mercy rule in effect, get the ball down the field, you know, one last time, a nice 12, 11 play drive, mixing up your run and pass, keep everybody healthy, and try to put this one away.
Pickup of just 2, 2nd down and 8 from the 21. Jensen. They'll give it to the up back, and they'll get a couple more there on the carry. And Saxton.
And Saxton bringing about just as much weight as the rest of that offensive line, weighing in at 205 and very solid. They go no huddle now.
Dive for it, and they will get the 1st down.
The other reason why you would go no huddle there on 3rd and short is you don't want Notre Dame to change personnel up front. You go quick count, get in position, snap the ball, and move the chains.
.337 on the clock. Jensen taking his time between each play, and that giving up to Groover.
Going down, that Groover somehow pops back on his feet, dives forward, and 1st down unless they spot him short.
Looks like the extra effort gave him. That's about as good a run you're going to get. Then go for a touchdown. Great effort to just earn every one of these 10 to 11 yards he gets. They run a sweep. He cuts it back. Van Sickle goes low and drops down on an ankle. And then he makes 2 more guys miss and finally fights through the arms of Lundy and lunges forward for the 1st down.
You say Lundy and then lunges forward?
Yes, I did. Let me check. First and 10, approaching the 3-minute mark, quarter number 3. First and 10 from the 42. Palisades with a 35-6 advantage. And a little pushing and shoving after the play. So Gressinger with another carry for Palisades.
Nice drive on the ground here by the Pirates. Able to keep the clock moving and the chains moving as well.
Lone touchdown by Notre Dame on an 82-yard run by Manny Stewart. That came just 25 seconds after a John Gruber touchdown that made it 21-0. The Palisades answer, and they have not looked back. And they'll keep the ball on the ground with 2:05 on the clock. Take a look at number 32, getting his share of plays. Third down and 3. Doug, you look at Palisades, and I think we talked about this opening night against Wilson. You know, you get 3 yards, 4 yards, and then 3 yards. You're converting each and every time. You're taking the time off the clock as well.
Well, the difference here in any of the losses is they've been able, obviously Palisades has had the big play, but they've been able to continuously move the ball on offense, and they've been able to change it up. The penalties, they've been able to rebound from those penalties so far, but they've definitely gotten a nice consistency running and passing tonight.
And let's see if they can get it here as they will convert on the first down run by Gressinger.
Well, this being the only touch of the third quarter for Palisades, and you know, if they continuously do what they're doing here, I don't think you're going to see them put the ball up in the air. They run Gressinger, does a nice job of bouncing that outside. You can see that wall his lineman has built up. That play designed to go up the middle, and he sees that the whole line has shifted everyone over to his right. So he takes it to the left, gains the necessary yardage for the first down once again.
Even another quarter left to play. Palisades doing a great job of taking a lot of time off the clock on each play. Inside 1 minute, third quarter. And maybe a little bit too much time, and they call a timeout so they avoid the penalty. You know, we had a chance earlier to look at Notre Dame's football schedule and showed you what, you know, where they're going and what they're doing. You know, Palisades in their football schedule at the same time, you know, and we were here for opening night against Wilson. 28-18, that was the score against Wilson. And just, you know, you knew it was the top 2 teams maybe at that point in the Colonial League going, you know, head-to-head at that time. And then from there, though, they had a loss to Northern Lehigh 10-7. That was a tough loss, according to head coach Brian Gilbert.
Well, that first one we knew was going to be a tough ball game, and I think the last 2 are ones that he felt they would be able to come through, especially last week. And he said one of the things that's different, you know, they were 1-2 last year after 3 games. There's only a 1-game difference, but it doesn't get any easier. And this is something you're going to stay constantly with. You take a look, they've got Bangor next week here at home, and then at Patty, and then at Palmerton, a team that hasn't lost yet. Southern Lehigh Salisbury and their rivalry game at the end of the year against Saucon Valley. Palmerton and Salisbury are the 2 glaring ones there that stand out. And the rest of those games, Caddy, Southern Lehigh, Saucon, and Bangor, not going to be easy.
First and 10 from the 45. They will stay on the pack, and here's Gressinger. Has some running room, and he bursts the speed up towards the 25. So Gressinger with another solid run.
And they go outside again. Gressinger with the ability now back-to-back to bounce this play outside. Saxon back in, nice cut, nice block, nice seal block, and then a little stiff arm, and down the secondary. Klotz loses his lid going down the sideline, knocking Gressinger out of bounds. But a tremendous job by this running game for Palisades, and credit starts with that offensive line and what they've been able to do tonight.
39 seconds left, third quarter. And Palisades doing the job effectively on the ground. And they keep it on the ground. And running his way through and weaving his way through is Saxton with another big run. So it's been Saxton and Gressinger, you know, really exchanging run after run on this drive as they continue to march down the field. Take a look at tonight's R&J Carbon Connection trivia question. The Palisades 1999 28-7 victory over Notre Dame. Who scored 3 touchdowns for the Pirates? We'll have that answer following this last play. 1999 28-7 win over Notre Dame. Who scored 3 touchdowns for the Pirates? We'll have that, make you think about that in just a second. 20 seconds left in the quarter. First and goal from the 10. And here's Gretzinger. Gretzinger battles through and touchdown. 10-yard touchdown run by Adam Gretzinger. And that puts the mercy rule into effect.
Gretzinger, the second touchdown for him. And a real example on that run of what's gone wrong for Notre Dame tonight and what's gone right for Palisades. Great job by the line. Tremendous extra effort. And just a ton of missed tackles, or should I say poor tackling by Notre Dame, unable to wrap up the Palisades tailback. That's the drive I was talking about. Great drive for Palisades to seal it now.
The point after, that one is up, and it is no good. Still a 35-point lead, and with the 35-point lead, the mercy rule will now go into effect with 9.4 seconds left.
Let's take a look at the run. They run a trap play. Will Fletcher starts at 69. There's Kakura, the center, 50, getting him out of the way. There's Fletcher going by. And watch the nice job by Gretzinger, and then just getting out of the tackler's arms and running in for a touchdown. But an impressive drive, and 2 things, no penalties and no injuries, especially for Palisades. Finish it, kick the mercy rule in. Tremendous effort to seal it. If you're head coach, all the good things that have happened, that's something that's going to stand out. There it is, 10 plays, 81 yards. Gretzinger's second touchdown, 10 yards on the ground. That one will stand out and be very satisfying. Brian Gilbert, we asked him, hey, how's it been? He said, Sundays and Mondays have been tough. Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays have been tough after these games. I can't wait till Friday. He's going to really enjoy his Friday night tonight, and he's really going to enjoy his Saturday and Sundays watching a film and getting back to practice on Monday afternoon.
And so Palisades will kick off here with 9.4 seconds. And depending on what happens, could be the end of the quarter. Give you extra time to think about that trivia question. And it'll be taken by Van Sickle. Van Sickle will give it up once again to Stewart. Stewart battles through, still on his feet, jumps forward. I thought the ball maybe got loose there. And the clock will wind down, end of the third quarter after the last touchdown by Gretzinger. A 10-yard score. We're through 3 quarters of play. From Palisades, it's 41-6. Palisades, we'll be back after this on 2 Sports.
High school football on Service Electric 2 Sports is brought to you by Overhead Door, Walters Pharmacy, Schuylkill Valley Sports, ABE Doors and Windows, Bethlehem Sporting Goods, Fleckner & Sons, and Velocity Sports Performance.
Hi, I'm George Rad, realtor and broker owner of Harvey Z. Rad Realtors. When clients come to us, they don't always know what they're looking for. Our goal is to make them feel comfortable and cared for. Purchasing and selling a home is the largest investment you'll ever make in your lifetime. And we're here to help you every step of the way. That means that we always put your interests first. We can promise you only 2 things, our honesty and our service.
Fourth quarter action, first play of the fourth quarter on the run. The carry by Mike Hughes. There you see the scores. The mercy rule has gone into effect 41-6 at this point, Doug. And at this point, when the mercy rule goes into effect, even if there's that much time in the clock, it just really continues to roll.
Well, it does. And, we'll take the fourth quarter, sorry. It's brought to you by Kleckner & Sons Appliances in MacArthur Road in Whitehall. What it does is, a lot of the coaches, it doesn't give them an opportunity to get everybody into the ball game, but it will only stop now at a timeout, a score, an injury, and change a quarter, which we've already had. So
It doesn't give Palisades a chance to get everybody in the game they'd like to, but it does indeed keep the game moving. And for the Pirates, they've got to be satisfied that they're able to get some fresh jerseys on the field.
Gambos had the completion towards Van Sickle, and he just got hit by 2 players and ended up the ball getting knocked out. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 13.
You're Notre Dame, and you're going to see they got their starters in the ball game on offense. They want to come away with something here, one drive themselves to get some points on the board. That consistency in finishing the drive hasn't happened for the Crusaders tonight. Their lone touchdown on that tremendous individual run by Stewart, but finishing drives over the last really 3 possessions going back into the second quarter is something that Notre Dame has been unable to do.
Gambos rolls near side. And was going to throw it, now tucks it in and gets taken out of bounds. And that'll bring up a 4th down and long situation.
And you can see that Notre Dame, and especially Gambos, they have not stopped playing yet. Right at the end of that run, he reached forward with the football trying to get an additional yard on the spot, and it looks like he's done it.
So 4th down. 10 minutes on the clock. Palisades on their way to their first victory of the season. Both teams be at 1-3 unless something miraculous happens. Here the punt by Van Sickle. And it's fielded and taken down at about the 32-yard line by Patrick Gordon. Oh, excuse me, James Klein. Looking at the wrong roster, so James Klein, the 155-pound sophomore, makes the play. 41-6 is your score on the change of possession.
And Palisades bringing in fresh players on the offensive side, all fresh bodies. Great opportunity for them, too, now to, under the lights here on the new turf, get a chance to show the coaches and fans as well what they can do.
Granville Fitz checks in at quarterback for Palisades. 1st down and 10. They pitch this one back. And a carry by James Stanel. He's only a freshman, 5'10", 160 pounds. Clock continues to wind down. A nice crowd on hand as we expect when you come out to air the Palisades, and you know that pirate ship out there. They're still having fun youth night here, and having a lot of the kids participate and have fun as well. 2nd down and 9, and that ball fumbled 2nd in a row on a fumble, and the Palisades come back up with it. So a couple of fumble snaps there. We take a look at Granville Fitz, the senior quarterback.
This becomes frustrating, too. We have a penalty false start on the Pirates. This becomes frustrating a little bit, too, for the coaching staff of Palisades. You got guys in there, you want to see what they can do, and Fitz is having trouble getting the ball into his hand, but now they have a penalty. I'll tell you what's interesting.
6 men on the line of scrimmage against the offense. Decline. 3rd down.
What's interesting, too, and what will be interesting, you mentioned it earlier, Al, about preseason-wise, everybody kept saying that Palisades was that second-best team, and they're still talking, it's best 0-3. Well, you know what? They are a very good team, and they're a team that, if they continue to win and do eventually make it into the playoffs, that's a team I don't think anyone's going to want to play. So it will be fun to track them over the next few weeks as they progress towards and what they hope to be a playoff spot. I mean, obviously right now, with no points in a district playoff race, no shot, or not in the top 8. Notre Dame, coming into this game, currently sat 9th in the District 11 playoff ranking. So we'll see with teams ahead of them and with some tough games coming up tomorrow with Northern Lehigh and Penn Argyl, that are 2 teams that are currently sitting in the top 8. So we'll see how Palisades can do and if they're able to gain some ground over the next couple of weeks.
Stanell on the last carry. 4th down and 9, a high snap. That one straight up. They lose yardage, actually takes a bounce forward up towards the 32-yard line. So a change of possession. 6:58 on the clock. 41-6 is your score. Give our R&J Carpet extra trivia question. Palisades 1999 28-7 win over Notre Dame. Who scored 3 touchdowns for the Pirates? Take a look at your answer. And it's Vic Wood, 2 rushing and 1 interception return. And Doug, you think about that game, and you look back to that game, that had implications for Palisades as well.
Well, what was significant about it, it was 1999. They won. That's the first game of the season. In 99, that ended at the time their 29-game losing streak, and they ended up going on to finish 1-9 at the conclusion of that 99 season. But that ended the 29-game losing streak, first game of the season, 1999. Vic Wood, great game against Notre Dame. Now, we mentioned earlier this week how these two teams had met in a couple of years. They did not play in 05 and 04. Notre Dame has won the last 3 dating back to 2000. So this series has been even since 1998, but Notre Dame won the last meeting in 2003, but that one's significant. Palisades fans want to forget about that 99 game in those years. They like what they're seeing here tonight, and they like what they've seen over the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, new era there of Brian Gilbert in his 6th year, 27-31 overall, as they hand this one off. And busting himself outside his clock, getting some good yardage. And, for Brian Gilbert, he said he's never started 0-3. He doesn't know what it feels to start 0-3. He's been, 1-2 a couple of occasions, but not 0-3. And, now he's going to find himself, down at 1-3 and just trying to regroup. You and I, after before the game, you're still in a playoff picture. You get some wins. You win out. He goes, we're not even going. We're going right now, 1 game at a time. And really, Doug, they have to. They've got a big schedule ahead of them. We mentioned, with Notre Dame, they go Bangor, Catasauqua with Palmerton, a huge matchup with Palmerton, waiting for them on the 13th, but they can't push away Bangor or Catasauqua. This one, hand it off and taken by Klotz once again.
And Notre Dame trying to get on the board again. But Klotz, the future bright here at Notre Dame with Klotz and Stewart, 2 tremendous sophomores playing this season, getting a lot of varsity work. You take a look at the Pirates celebrating Brensinger in the middle, Saxton there on the right. They got to feel real good. What's going to be a nice weekend for those guys. They'll be excited more than ever to get back into the film room and get back to practice on Monday after this game.
Notre Dame, Dave Brown, will get back into the drawing board as well. Second goal from the 6. They give this one up, Colin Freitas, and Freitas scores for the Crusaders. So Freitas, the 180-pound sophomore, a couple carries tonight, scores from 6 yards out.
Interesting that Freitas, these two guys, Klotz and Freitas, back-to-back, both came over from Liberty, playing their freshman ball at Liberty. In fact, Klotz wrestled for the Hurricanes a year ago. So these 2 guys here playing at Notre Dame now, getting an opportunity to really show their stuff this season. The 2 sophomores, Klotz and Freitas. Freitas with that touchdown, that'll make him feel a little bit better and make Notre Dame feel a little bit better that they were able to get a drive here at the end and put some more points up on the board.
Lundy, point after, good. And it's 41-13, your score.
This Notre Dame offense is working up against the second unit. They run Freitas on that speed sweep outside and just right into the end zone, being ushered in by Guadagnino, 54. But the pursuit all bit inside, and then good blocking downfield for Notre Dame to score the touchdown.
4:19 on the clock, 41-13 your score. Take a look, 3 plays, 32 yards, and the Freitas 6-yard run. And Palisades get the ball back, try to run the clock out to end the night.
Take a look at the Pirate fans. I was talking about this earlier. Another great crowd on hand here at Palisades. Sometimes it can become frustrating if your team hasn't started the way you'd like, but the community here at Palisades is bought into the system that Brian Gilbert has put in here at Palisades, and they're behind him 100%. And I'm sure they're going to be real glad going home tonight, and they're going to be real proud of this team, and they'll be interested on how well they will do now over the next couple of weeks to keep this fine momentum going.
That one fumbled and picked up at about the 5-yard line. And that's where they'll start.
Well, we'll take a look now at our Velocity Sports
great play of the second half. And let's see. Oh, yeah, we guessed it. Klotz tips it. Negri goes the distance. This was a huge play. It was the defensive side of the ball for Palisades on Notre Dame's first drive, and it really was a straw that broke the camel's back. And then, of course, Palisades adds another one to kick in the mercy roll. But Negri's got to feel real good, Mike Negri, taking that one the distance and what he was able to do defensively to help his team. And that one just put it away for the Pirates in the third quarter.
So 3:46, clock winding down here at Palisades High School. Great night for football across the Lehigh Valley. And Doug, you know, we've seen our share of, you know, the rainy nights, and we were here a year ago on that muck and mire night. You know, I got a call actually by John McAfee, who was getting ready for our soccer broadcast, and he thought I stole his camera from him. He said, no, he said credit was credit due. I mentioned his name. He was excited about watching at home. And John, if you're watching, we said muck and mire once again.
Well, no more of that.
None of that here. Exactly. New field and the new look, and you know, this will be the first win on the new field.
Right. Now, the other thing that's interesting with Palisades, well, this is the first time we've been here where it hasn't rained. Palisades now is 11-2 in their last 13 home games here at Walter T. Rohr Stadium. The two losses to Wilson in the opener that we saw, and back in 2004 on September 17th against Northern Lehigh. That also includes postseason. So they've had a great run here at home. You look at their home games left next week against Bangor, and then the two in October, Southern Lehigh and a big one against Salisbury. This team has played well here. They get the support, and now with this new surface, they've got to like what they can do on it with their speed and quickness.
So down the road, a couple years down the road, when the trivia question is, who do they beat for their first victory on the new field? It will be Notre Dame Crusaders. Here's Gretziger. Gretziger makes the turn. Now on the carry, is Stenell. Stenell up to the 25-yard line. Nice move there by Stenell, who's been getting some carries here of late. Just a freshman, Doug. You know, you're looking at the future. These are the opportunities. You know, you look at coaches across the Lehigh Valley saying, you know, we're young. When they get those runs, freshman, sophomore, gives them a couple carries, you know, against, you know, an opponent that's still itching to try to get some tackles, getting some plays in the final minutes, and give you some experience.
Well, this is the reward for these guys for practicing all week. Now they'll have the JV games and stuff coming up, and for Stenell, a freshman game, but getting a chance to play with the varsity on a Friday night under the lights, it's an awesome experience.
Clock winding down, 1:30 and counting, 41-13 is your score. Palisades, a week from tonight, will host Bangor, as Doug mentioned, and Notre Dame will hit the road, and they'll take on Northern Lehigh. So, Coach Brown will have to regroup his team for another tough opponent. Northern Lehigh will have that short week as they play tomorrow afternoon on 2 Sports against Penn Argent. Sure, Dave Brown and his staff maybe trek up to Penn Argent to watch that contest, get ready for the Bulldogs of Northern Lehigh. 49 ticks on the clock for Palisades. They'll take the knee. Try to run out the clock. Take you through the final scoring. Again, 8-yard touchdown run by Adam Gretziger, 7-0. Palisades, Bill Saxon, a 3-yard touchdown run, 14-0. Second quarter, 26-yard touchdown run by John Groover, 21-0. Notre Dame trying to battle back. 25 seconds afterwards, an 82-yard touchdown run by Manny Stewart, made it 21-6. But the big play, the 50-yard touchdown run by Kyle Jensen, made it 27-6. Palisades getting the 79-yard interception return by Mike Negri. A 2-point conversion, 35-6, and then a 10-yard touchdown run by Adam Gretziger made it 41-6. And Colin Freitas made it a 6-yard run, 41-13. The horn sounds. Palisades, their first victory on the new field. They win it by a score of 41-13. We'll come back, wrap this one up right after this on Service Electric 2 Sports.
You know it's always been the best. Let's go get Yaco hot dog is known worldwide. Let's go get Yaco. The secret sauce is one of a kind.
Yaco's, an Allentown tradition.
Exit ramp 14. Left on Madison. Turn right. In 50 feet.
Life comes at you fast. Brought to you by the Todd Troxel Agency. Call 610-440-1737 for a free insurance quote.
Sure, both of these models are quite attractive, but with 20-gauge steel and the highest insulation factors, only one will stay just as beautiful for years to come. See the complete line of Elite doors, only at ABE Doors and Windows. Our 5-year installation warranty means we'll stand by our products if you ever have any problems. Well, almost any problem. See the full line of award-winning windows and doors at ABE, the who's who leader in the Lehigh Valley. Hey, football fans, if you love dealing with a winning team, head to the leader, Kleckner's in Whitehall and Emmaus for the fabulous GE kickoff sale. Browse our huge selection of GE ranges, GE refrigerators, GE dishwashers, GE washers, and GE dryers. Now at Kleckner's, get great savings plus free delivery, free haul away of old, a full parts department and their own factory-trained techs. Stop in today. See why Kleckner's has been serving the Lehigh Valley since 1945. 2 locations, Kleckner's, 2177 MacArthur Road in Whitehall and 575 Chestnut Street, Emmaus.
The key to becoming a better athlete is through sports performance training. To perform like a pro, you need to train like a pro. Now your chance has finally arrived with Velocity Sports Performance. Train individually or as part of a group with our nationally credentialed sports performance coaching staff. Build confidence, structure, and accountability through athleticism with purpose. Get the competitive edge you want. Operate at your full potential on and off the playing field. If you're serious about your athleticism and training, no one makes you better than Velocity Sports Performance.
Life happens, especially on carpet. Be prepared. Think SmartStrand. Introducing a new line of carpets featuring Mohawk SmartStrand fiber, made with DuPont Sorona polymer. Mohawk SmartStrand uses engineered-in protection all the way through each strand to the core. Smart carpet that protects longer, cleans up easier, and stays beautiful for years to come. New groundbreaking SmartStrand, a smart solution for those times when life just happens.
This football game on Service Electric 2 Sports has been brought to you by Troxel Agency.
Welcome back. 41-13 is your final score as Palisades wins for the first time in the turf. Meredith Rockets with a winning head coach.
Brian, 0-3, certainly not the way you wanted to start the season, but you more than made up for it tonight. How does it feel to get your first win here on the turf?
It feels good. It wasn't exactly the prettiest win, but at this point, we'll take a win.
Offensively, you were able to evenly distribute the ball as well as spread it out as far as an air attack and on the ground. That was really a big part of your success early. Is that what you wanted?
It is. That's what we were looking for all year. We just still have to limit the mistakes, and I think we'll be all right on offense.
You talked about Manwaring and Patterson coming back. How big of a role did they play, and did you expect them to have that type of impact?
I think so. I mean, you can see right off the gate, Brad Patterson's a speedster. He's a big play guy, and we're very happy to have both of them back.
Some guys that probably don't get enough credit, your offensive line, terrific job again today.
Yeah, they did. They played with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of excitement, and, you know, this win's contributed to them.
You have Bangor coming up next at home. What do you tell them going into that, and how do you keep them up high after this win?
You know what? We just got to keep working, you know, like we did last week. This is, you know, it's another work week. It's, you know, anyone in this league can beat anybody, and we got to improve on a lot of things, and we're going to work hard this week.
You said before the game, one game at a time. Is that still your philosophy even after a win?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We got to be. I mean, you know, we can't look by anybody. It's still a long season, so we're looking forward to playing Bangor home next week.
Thanks for joining us.
Okay.
Best of luck next
Thanks.
season.
Thank you.
All right, Meredith, thanks a lot. Brian Gilbert, not, you know, so much wordage because he knows it's only one football game, but at the same time, confidence builder for his team, knowing they're a good football team. But he said knowing and getting that first win, that's what they needed.
That's absolutely what they needed, and they got a great effort here tonight by Yaco's player of the game, no doubt.
Yeah, Yaco's player of the game. We could have went with a couple of different players. We decided to go with our quarterback, and Kyle Jensen. You know, Jensen was there throughout the night. He had a big target in Bradley Patterson, who had himself a great night as well, number 21 was sparkling tonight, but this was the big run that really changed the game. This comes after a touchdown run by Manny Stewart. He goes 50 yards for the score, and that changed the tempo of the game.
It absolutely did, and Jensen, you know, just settling in to be the quarterback that Brian Gilbert really wants to have this season. Doing it with his legs, doing it with smart passing, doing it with tremendous accuracy when he does throw the ball, and providing another dimension that defensive coordinators across the league now have to be concerned about as well. This is the game that Kyle Jensen dreamed about having when this season started. It took him a few weeks, but he'll take it, you know, as soon as he can, and it was a great effort by everyone here tonight.
All right, that will do it for tonight. For Meredith Maragwas down the field, Jared Ringer, our stat man tonight. Dave Donio, our director. Final score once again, Palisades wins it 41-13. They're 1-3. Notre Dame at 1-3 as well. If you're watching us here on Friday night, Saturday afternoon, Northern Lehigh, Penn Ardrel, Parkland, Becca at night. For Doug Heater and everyone here at Service Electric 2 Sports, I'm Al DiCarlo. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night.